Good evening and welcome to a beautiful Friday night for baseball at America's Classic Ballpark, FirstEnergy Stadium, as we get set for game number 4 of this week's 6-game series between the Reading Fightin Phils and the Harrisburg Senators. We welcome you into the pregame show. My name is Jake Starr. Bob McCool will be joining myself in just a little bit as we get set to preview the beginning of the back half of our 6-game series between Reading and Harrisburg. And last night was a big night for the Fightin Phils. They finally got the monkey off their back and snapped their season-long 10-game losing streak. It was the longest losing streak since the 2014 season. But Reading was able to get the win last night, 5-4, an all-around effort. Gene Cabrera and Braden Falsnaut helped pitch the Fightin Phils to a victory, and it was timely home runs from Leandro Pineda, Robert Moore, and a big double also from Andrick Nava later in the game that led the Fightin Phils to a victory. Former R-Phil, though, Carlos De La Cruz, gave Harrisburg life. Hit a 3-run home run in the 6th inning that tied the game at 3 at the time, but the Fightins then re-grabbed the lead after that, and it never looked back. So now tonight, the Fightins, for the first time since the Tuesday of the Binghamton series on April the 15th, will look to win consecutive games. And talked to Cole Roberts after the game last night, and he said, you got one now. Now how do you kind of just build off of that? And he said, hey, we got the one. We know we got the guys here. We got the group in the building to be successful. Now it's time to take that confidence and do just that. So Fightin Phils got win at number 6 last night, and they'll look to start the weekend off on a high note with a hopeful victory on this Friday night. Crowd filing in. First pitch is being thrown. We cannot ask for a better night of baseball. Fireworks coming up after the game, and hopefully we got some more Phils fireworks before that. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we resume our conversation with Aiden Miller. We had part 1 on Tuesday night, and then we had Al Patrique on the last 2 nights, so we will pick up with the back half of our interview with Phillies number 2 prospect Aiden Miller coming up after this as the pregame show rolls on the Our Phils Radio Network. Pre-game show rolls on the Fightin Phil's radio network. Just heard our conversation with Aiden Miller. Thanks to Aiden for the time the other day for our two-part interview with the Phillies' #2 overall prospect. So, pitchers complete their warm-up tosses. Home plate meeting is done. My name is Jake Starr. Once again, I am joined now by Bob McCool. And Bob, Fightin's got a win last night. They snapped a 10-game losing streak. Now the goal becomes 2 in a row. How did they make that happen tonight?
Well, a combination of what happened last night would be a good place to start. Effective hitting. They didn't hit a ton, but they did hit the ball effectively. They hit 7 hits, but they drove in. They drove in 5 of those runs. Or they brought 5 of those runs across. They hit with men on base. They had timely hitting. Played a little long ball. They had a home run from Leandro Pineda, a 2-run home run from Robert Moore. That certainly helps the cause a little bit, but most importantly, they got effective pitching. They got a decent 5 innings out of Gene Cabrera. They tried to push him to 6. It did not work out. He walked the first 2. They go to Braden Fosnot. He gives up the 3-run home run, and after that, first batter he faced, first pitch he threw, Carlos De La Cruz hits a 3-run home run, but after that, Braden Fosnot was as good as you could have asked him to be for the 4 innings and closed out the game. And so essentially they were able to out-hit what the bullpen was able to give them. And that's been the problem. Can they hit enough, and can the bullpen hold down a lead late in ball games?
And you just mentioned Carlos De La Cruz. Cool moment here at the ballpark. They just did a little quick thing honoring Carlos. And you don't see that a lot, especially at the minor league level. But look, Carlos De La Cruz was a guy who, over the course of 2+ seasons here in baseball town, made an impact. He became a fan favorite. And I mean, look, when you're even a casual fan, you go to the ballpark and you see someone who's 6 feet 9 inches, who's a hitter, step into the batter's box, you're gonna, be drawn to that. But he was a great guy for us to cover, to be around. So nice little cool moment for Carlos before the game.
Yeah, I mean, for little kids, and you look up and you see this giant of a human being, and he's a great guy, and it's that. And Carlos is the kind of guy who would stand around and sign autographs. He was just he is a good dude, and he's somebody, he may not have the same uniform on anymore, but you still have to root for him. And he's been productive in this series. He's got a big 2-run double, and then last night the 3-run home run. It's his only hits in this series, but they've been big ones for the Senators.
So as we await the pitchers to make their way in, it's Charles King for the Fightin Phils tonight. It is Kyle Luckham for the Senators in tonight's ball game. King just got to the Fightin Phils dugout, so Reading should be taking the field here in a couple of moments. Once again, Jake Starr, Bob McCool here on our pregame show. As we wait for the Fightin Phils to take the field, let's take a look around the Eastern League. So, busy night. Binghamton and Erie currently playing a doubleheader. Game 1, Binghamton's on top 3-0. Akron Altoona underway, out in Altoona. Bottom 3, Akron leads 1-0. Portland, New Hampshire scoreless, bottom 1. Somerset, Richmond scoreless, bottom 1. And Hartford and the Chesapeake Bay Sox about to get underway from Duncan Park.
I'm still having trouble with the Harrisburg Senators. Now you're going to.
And they've been around for 30 years.
Exactly. Now you're going to throw the Chesapeake Bay Sox at me.
How many times are you going to say Bowie?
Bowie? If it was a 6-game series, I'd give it the over/under at 1.5.
Phillies organization tonight. Big Phil's about to get underway. Merrill Kelly and Jesus Luzardo on a Friday night at the Bank. That should be a really good pitching matchup. Lehigh Valley actually trails 4-1 early against Rochester. They have dominated the Red Wings this week. Rochester 6-23 on the year entering tonight, so that's been a lopsided matchup. Jersey Shore and Hudson Valley about to get underway up in upstate New York. Bradenton and Clearwater just got underway. Bottom half of the first inning over at Bay Care Ballpark. Interesting series this week for the Threshers. They played 3 games in Dunedin. Now they're back home for 3 games against Bradenton. Very pre-2020, may I say, splitting into multiple 3-game series against different teams. That's unheard of at this point in minor league baseball. Of course, Lehigh Valley has had themselves a terrific year so far. They, entering today, are in first place in the International League. And, Bob, any final thoughts? The Fightin Phils take the field.
I think it would be really beneficial. I mean, obviously, it seems elementary, but to get out early, carry that momentum of the win last night. Don't let the Senators jump out on top of you. I think the idea of getting out early for the Fightins would be huge, and having Chuck King shut the Senators down early will certainly help the cause as well.
So, led by Chuck King, coming off a career-best outing last week at Portland. The Fightin Phils, playing as Los Luchadores de Reading, have taken the field. It's time for the national anthem, and that'll wrap up tonight's pregame show. We'll step aside for a moment. Lineups and first pitch coming up for you right after this. Good evening and welcome inside America's Classic Ballpark, FirstEnergy Stadium, for Game 4 of this week's 6-game series between the Reading Fightin Phils and the Harrisburg Senators. My name is Jake Starr, that is Bob McCool, and with the Fightin Phils on the field, let's take a look at the Harrisburg lineup. That manager, Delano the Shields, will center the plate in tonight's game. Philip Glasser leads off, he's the DH. Nick Schnell is second in center. Yoani Morales bats third, plays third. Joe Naranjo fourth at first base. Carlos De La Cruz fifth in right. Jeremy De La Rosa sixth and left. Cortland Lawson hits seventh. He's the shortstop. Maxwell Romero Jr. is eighth. He catches. And Viandel Pena is the second baseman. On the mound for the Fightin Phils tonight, coming off a career-best outing, that's Chuck King.
Chuck King making his third start. He's also made 2 appearances as a reliever. Combined 1-0 with a 3.60 earned run average. The 27-year-old right-hander's pitched in 15 innings. He's given up 12 hits, 6 runs, and an impressive strikeout-to-walk ratio. 16 strikeouts, just 2 base on balls.
As Jordan Disson throws it down, let's take a look at the Fightin's defense behind King. Keaton Anthony at first. Trent Farquhar is back at second base. Robert Moore gets the start at shortstop tonight. And Luis Verdugo, after being a scratch last night, back in the lineup and plays third. Leandro Pineda in right. Elio Prado in center. Henry Mendez in left. Disson is the catcher. Chuck King completes the battery. And we're ready to go. Philip Glasser set the step in. Tyler Whitty, the crew chief, has got balls and strikes. Ethan Gorsax at first. Rafael Pineda is at third. Glasser in from the left side. The righty King is ready to roll. First pitch home is over for a strike. It's 0-1. First pitch fired home at 6:49. 80 degrees and sunny. Our game time temperature presented by All Temp Enterprises. King, the righty, works quickly, comes set at the letters, and fires home. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 96 on the first pitch, 94 the second pitch. And Philip Glasser is quickly in a hole. Glasser, 382 hitter on the year. It's been a strong start for him. No home runs, does have 5 doubles, and he's driven in 4. And the 0-2 home is a change-up down, 1-2. Checking the swing, Glasser. They appeal. Third base ump, Rafael Pineda, says no swing. Third pro season for Glasser. 10th round pick in 2023 out of the University of Indiana. In from the left side, King, the righty, set at the letters. 1-2. Swung on, knuckled foul. It stays the ball in 2 strikes.
King, not a guy that's going to overpower you, but he can get the fastball up there in the mid-90s.
Which from a starter you'll take.
Yes, absolutely. But again, as I mentioned, the strikeout to walk ratio is what's big, and this could be a pesky Senators lineup.
Next pitch to Glasser, swung on and foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes still.
Much like this. I mean, Glasser's doing what the Senators have done a lot of in this series to this point in time, which is foul off a lot of pitches.
Count remains 1-2 to Glasser, 6 for 14 so far this week. And the 1-2 swung on, lifted foul. And as Bob said, they foul a lot of balls off. That was the 6th pitch of the at-bat to Philip Glasser. Infield has the lefties shaded to go to the right side. Moore at shortstop, nearly behind the bag. Verdugo at third, shaded towards the hole. And the 1-2 swung on, lifted in the air, foul again. The 4th foul ball by Glasser in this at-bat. Certainly doing what a leadoff man should do.
Absolutely. Now everybody in the dugout's getting a chance to see what Chuck King has, what all's in his arsenal, how fast is he, what's the movement on his pitches are like. That's what you want your leadoff guy to do.
And the 1-2 swung on, lifted in the air towards left center. Back is Mendez to the gap. And the left fielder makes the catch for out number 1. So Glasser's retired. That'll bring Nick Schnell to the plate.
So in total, it becomes an 8-pitch at bat for Glasser. It's not a base hit. He didn't get on base. Last night, he swung at the first pitch and got himself a base hit, leading off the game against Gene Cabrera. Tonight, he doesn't get a base hit, but he does have a solid and productive at bat for his teammates.
Nick Schnell digs in from the left-handed batter's box. First pitch home, swung on, lifted, foul. It's 0-1. But see, those foul balls you'll take because that moves you closer to 3 strikes.
Right.
It's the one with 2 strikes.
It's when it's 2 strikes it's get frustrating.
0-1 to Nick Schnell, the lefty bat. King fires, swung on, lifted in the air towards straightaway center field. Hit well, Prado's back. The track of the wall, it's off the top of the wall. Prado plays it nicely, fires it in the second. It's late on a hop, and it's a 1-out double for Nick Schnell, his 5th 2-bagger of the season.
Well, we've talked in the last couple of nights, and especially last night, that the wind was helping some balls in the air. That one didn't need any help. That was well hit by Schnell. He does not have a home run on the year, so he's a guy with a lot of extra base hits. That's his 7th extra base hit of the year, but that was hit well. The only reason that was not a home run is because he hit it at the highest point of the wall he could. It was right by the Mike Schmidt retired jersey number on the left center field wall.
First one to Yoani Morales off the glove of Disson. It's a ball. To third goes Schnell, and what will likely be the first pass ball of the season for Jordan Disson.
Yeah, the pitch was up a little bit, but it hit the glove of Disson, and it kind of surprised Morales a little bit as well as he was leaning back on it. And I don't know if Disson got crossed up from King or not, but he didn't really seem like he reacted well to the pitch being up a little bit. But it was not a terrible pitch.
So 1 ball, no strikes to Yoani Morales. Infield comes in. Next pitch is a strike. It's 1-1. Yeah, back to that Schnell double. That's a home run in most ballparks. 410 feet was the estimated distance off the bat. Except that big brick wall had other plans. King ready, 1-1. Bit outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Sinker 95 from the righty. Morales, a 246 hitter. He's got 4 home runs, 13 runs driven in on the season. Infield stays up for the Fightin Phillies. Pitch home. Swung on and sliced towards the right field line. Going back is Pineda. It's over his head, and it goes over the wall. So it'll be a ground roll double on a bounce from Morales. Schnell scores. So it's an RBI double for Morales, RBI number 14 for him, double number 4, and the Senators lead at 1-0.
Yeah, now 3 of those 4 doubles are in this series, and that was a good piece of hitting by Morales. He just simply went the other way with a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and it was slicing away from Pineda the whole way, slicing so much. As Jake said, it took that wild bounce and up and over the wall and then back into play, but once it bounces over the wall, it's a ground rule double. So Morales takes it, and the Senators do what we hope that they would not be able to do, which is to jump out on top.
First pitch to Naranjo, misses a bit up, it's 1-0.
But a big spot here for King. Okay, so you got 2 balls hit hard off of you and a couple of doubles, but you need to shut it down here. They get a run? Okay, they got a run.
1-0. Morales gets his lead off second. King will check him and deal home. And that's swung on, hit on a line towards right. Coming in Pineda, he'll make the catch. Tagging is Morales. Throw from Pineda is a bit offline. So up to third goes Morales. So it's an F9 in the scorebook. 2 outs for Carlos De La Cruz.
Yeah, off the bat, that's danger only in the sense of the sun right in the eyes of Pineda. But he had it all the way. Never really flinched in any way. And then it's an easy tag and move up by Morales. So he is 90 feet away. So again, same thing as we were talking about a moment ago. Big spot for Chuck King, only in the sense of it's a big difference whether or not you give up a run or you give up a couple runs in the first.
First one to De La Cruz, over for a strike. It's 0-1. Man on third, but 2 outs, so the infield plays back. Top half of the first inning, 1-0 Senators on top. Righty on righty matchup here. King set, fires home. De La Cruz will swing and foul it. It's 0-2. De La Cruz, a 192 hitter. Hit his 3rd home run of the season last night. Drove in 3. And Harrisburg's 5-4 defeat. 0-2, swung on and a dribbler towards the middle. Farquhar fields it on a high hop. Second baseman sets his feet, throws the first in time. And that will end the first inning. Harrisburg gets a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. We'll head to the home half of the first. Senators at 1. Reading coming to bat. Home half for the first, 1-0 Senators. And here is tonight's Fightin' Phillies starting lineup presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. Robert Moore, the shortstop, leads off. Aidan Miller bats second and DHs. Andrew Mendez third in left field. Keaton Anthony fourth at first base. Leandro Pineda fifth and right. Trent Farquhar sixth at second. Jordan Disson seventh to catcher. Luis Verdugo is eighth at third. Ninth, Elio Prado plays center, and it's Kyle Luckham on the mound for the Senators.
Luckham making his 5th start of the season. He is 1-1 with a 3.26 earned run average in 19 1/3 innings pitched so far. He's given up 19 hits, 7 earned runs, 13 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's only also surrendered 2 home runs so far in those first 4 starts.
So here's Robert Moore to lead things off. Full bat from the left side. Defense for the Senators. Naranjo at first, Pena second, Lawson short, Morales at third. De La Cruz right, Schnell center, De La Rosa left, and Romero Jr. is the catcher for Kyle Luckham, who winds the first pitch home, and Moore swings and hits it. A 1-hopper at first. Chest high hop for Naranjo, takes it to the bag himself. That's out number 1.
You know, Jake, there's an expression in this game of a Sunday hop. That was as bad of a good of a hop as you will ever in your life want to have as an infielder. I mean, that hit took a hop in the grass, and it was quite literally right at the chest of Naranjo. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better than that. You don't get a ball hit to you that well in batting practice.
Here's Aidan Miller, takes the first one down for a ball. It's 1-0. Sunday hop, I've also referred to it as a room service hop before.
He did not have to move.
Nope.
He didn't have to move his glove. The only thing he had to do was just jog to first.
1-0, Miller takes it, this time for a strike. It's 1-1. Miller currently riding a 15-game on-base streak, the longest such streak throughout the Eastern League in the active variety. And the 1-1. He will take it at the knees for a strike. It's 1-2. Miller overall at 195, pair of home runs, 4 runs driven in. It's been a quieter season in the run-producing department for the Phillies' #2 prospect so far. And Luckham, overhead windup, 1-2. Miller takes it up. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fightin Phillies tonight in their Los Luchadores de Reading uniforms. Black, yellow, red on the tops, white pants, and in the field they'll wear black caps. Miller's got the high red socks. Rick Gleitzel in slightly open stance. And the 2-2. Miller swings, hits it well, right center field. Schnell's back, has room. Couple of steps in front of the track, and the center fielder makes the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring Hendry Mendez up to the plate. So 2 quickly down for Reading. Mendez digs in from the left side. Mendez, who had the night off last night, as Reading went with a very righty-heavy lineup against the lefty Dustin Signs, swings the first pitch, and he hits it foul down the left field line. It's 0-1.
And he was swinging a very productive bat. He had 5 hits in 2 games. And you hope that the night off doesn't mess with his mojo at all.
5 for 8 this week is Mendez. 0-1. Swung on a ground ball foul past the Fightin's third base coach and manager Al Patrique. Michael Jones in the first base coach's box for Reading tonight. Harrisburg in their road reds. The Harrisburg H on the left chest, number on the right chest, and they wear gray pants and a red cap. 0-2, swing and a miss. Mendez can't catch up to a fastball up high, and that retires the side in the first. 3 up, 3 down, go the Fightin Phils. We've played 1, Harrisburg on top. It's 1-0. Top half of the second inning, and International Fireworks is the official sponsor of the Art Phil's fireworks shows during the 2025 season. Head to their store at 242 Sycamore Road in Douglasville or visit fireworksrus.com. So Harrisburg 1, Reading 0. Chuck King is back out for inning number 2 of work, and he will face 6, 7, and 8 of the Senators lineup. It'll start with Jeremy De La Rosa. De La Rosa digs in from the left hand of the batter's box, and we are ready to roll in inning number 2. And King the righty works only out of the stretch, fires the first one home, and it's outside of the lefty. It's 1-0. De La Rosa, a 167 hitter on the season so far. And the pitch to him is bit up. It's 2-0. He's 0 for 4 on the season so far. Comes after a 2 for 13 week against Erie at home last week for De La Rosa. 2-0. Swung on a line drive towards right. Falling fast, but Leandro Pineda drops it. Must have lost in the lights or the sun or something. Fires a throw to second. Not in time. It's probably going to be an error on Pineda. Routine play just in and out of his glove, and on second base is De La Rosa.
Yeah, we just mentioned that the last inning on the line drive from Naranjo, that that's the Sun field, but it looked like Pineda had it. I think he just dropped it. I think it was there. It was in his glove. And what makes you think that is because after he picked it up and threw it back in the infield, he was looking at his glove. But, yeah, that's definitely got to be E9.
Yeah, second error of the year on Leandro Pineda. It's a two-base error, and that'll bring Cortland Lawson to the plate. First pitch to him is swung on, sliced down the right field line, but foul and out of play. No balls, one strike.
Harrisburg is definitely getting good swings at Chuck King. Yeah, the double by Schnell was well hit, the double by Morales, and obviously the two line drives to Pineda, one caught, one not.
0-1 the count to Cortland Lawson pitch. Swung on a line drive, caught by Verdugo at third. Good play by him. Hard off the bat, 1-1 to Verdugo, but a run-saving play from him. And that'll bring the catcher, Maxwell Romero Jr., to the plate.
As I was saying, they are hitting the ball hard right now off of Chuck King.
So Romero Jr., the catcher, 8-man, steps in from the left side. Chuck King trying to work around that leadoff error from Leandro Pineda. And the pitch. That's low. Good block by Disson. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Second start of the week for Romero. It's gone Stubbs, Romero, Stubbs, Romero as the catchers so far this week for Harrisburg. And the 1-0 is out for a ball, 2-0. So I'm willing to venture a guess that maybe Garrett Stubbs, I just said Garrett Stubbs, CJ Stubbs starts tomorrow for Harrisburg. Knew it would happen eventually. 2 balls, no strikes to count to Romero. The pitch. Swinging a miss, 2-1. Way out in front of a changeup at 82 from King.
Yeah, he started him with a changeup, but he buried it in the dirt. But now it becomes a much more effective pitch after the batter has seen and you've established the fastball. Now that changeup is set up nicely.
So 2-1 count now to Romero. King set. He'll check the runner at second, deal home. And Romero thought about it for a second on a pitch in the dirt, but does hold up. It's 3-1.
So now you're in a danger zone for King. Again, they're hitting the ball hard against him. And he's got Romero hit a big home run earlier in this series in a hitter-friendly count. Because if you're Chuck King, you got a base open, but you're not thinking about that at this point in time. You got to come in with a pitch.
8-man Romero up, 3-1, and that's a strike. It's 3-2. Got a sinker on the inside corner to the lefty bat. 1-0 Harrisburg, and they're threatening in the second. Men on second and 1 out. 3-2 the count to Max Romero Jr. And the pitch is swung on and a pop fly towards shallow left. He got it on the hands. Moore, the shortstop, was back, then comes back into the dirt, and he makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring Biondale Pena to the plate for Harrisburg.
That's a big out for King. To ball in the hole and then come back and get him on a lazy infield pop-up. And so now you got the 9-hole hitter coming to the plate. This is a bit, again, keep saying it, but it's early, but it's, I think, just a piece of the puzzle here for the Fightin' Phils to try to continue with a good feeling about it. And so Chuck King needs to come up with an out here and get out of here with no further damage.
First one home. The Pena is over for a strike. It's 0-1. King coming off an outing last week against Portland. 5 innings, 1 hit. No runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Career high in innings pitched for him. A 1. That swung on and sent straight back foul. It's 0-2. You're with King. When you kind of saw him in the starting rotation, you didn't know if it was more of an opener type thing. 2 innings, 3 innings based on his career, but they've consistently stretched him out. First start went 4, then a couple of 3s in relief, and then 5 last week. So you got to think he can give you 75, 80 pitches tonight. And the 0-2. Bit up. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Pena.
And it's the ever-changing dynamic of a pitching staff in baseball anymore. When this season started, the Phils kind of looked like they had a solid potential of having 6 different starters. Chuck King wasn't one of those 6, but that's how quickly things can change, and now he is one of the 5.
1-2. Swung on. Ground ball. Served the second on a hop. Belt high hop for Farquhar. He fires the first. It's in time. and that is how the inning comes to an end. No runs. There was an error, and that man is left on base. We've played 1.5. Harrisburg 1, Reading 0. Bottom half of the second inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. This inning also brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, PA, outside of Lebanon. 1-0 Reading in this bottom of the second inning. Crazy hot dog vendors doing his thing on this beautiful Friday night. Fireworks after the game thanks to our local Kia dealers. Always a big thanks to our friends over at Kia for their partnership through the years and their sponsorship of tonight's fireworks show. If you're just joining us, Jake Starr, Bob McCool, Kyle Luckham back out for the bottom of the second inning, and Keaton Anthony leads off for Reading, 4, 5, and 6. In front of the plate for manager Al Padrique here in the frame. Infield pretty straight up against the right-handed bat, and Luckham, the righty, will fire home. Anthony takes it for a ball. It's 1-0. Anthony, like Miller, on a long on-base streak currently. He's at 13 games. And oh, by the way, he's on an 8-game hitting streak as well. 1-0 as swung on and fouled back. It's 1-1. Over his 8-game hitting streak, Anthony's hitting .310. 761 OPS. Couple of doubles, couple of RBI. 1-1 is swung on, hit in the air, towering shot, deep left center. De La Rosa's back at the track, at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Rolls back into center. Anthony around second. He'll head to third. That's where he'll get the stop sign. It's a leadoff stand-up triple for Keaton Anthony, and the Fightins are in business with a leadoff base runner, his first triple this season.
Well, we've been talking about Keaton Anthony and the position defensively for most of the opponents. They play him the other way, especially in center field and right, with the left fielder pretty much playing straight away, which opens up a huge hole in left center field. We just hadn't seen him really drive the ball in left center field. Well, now we did, and he is the beneficiary of it.
Pineda up, infield about halfway for Harrisburg. First pitch swung on, it's popped up. Foul territory, left side of the infield, and Morales makes the catch at third, and that is out number 1. And that'll bring Trent Farquhar to the plate.
That's just, I mean, look, Leandro Pineda is a guy that the Phillies have high expectations for. There is no doubt about that. And you get yourself in positions to do something to help your team out, you got to come through with a better at bat than that. Man on third, nobody out in a 1-0 game very early on in the game, and that's the result. You pass the baton around, and now you hope that Trent Farquhar can bail him out.
Here's Trent Farquhar with 1 out. Pitch home. That's up and in. They almost snap-throwed behind Anthony, but Romero does not. So it's 1 ball, no strikes.
And just to finish off the part about Anthony, it certainly helped Anthony get to third base because it was such a long run for Schnell to get there from center.
Oh, it's hit so high, too.
Absolutely. And De La Rosa kind of took a very circular route to get to the ball. So all of it led to the 3-bagger instead of the 2.
1-0 misses down, 2 balls, no strikes. It's just the second triple this season for Reading. The other one came from Cade Fergus back on April the 19th. So that would have been 2 weeks ago tomorrow.
Right, and that was off the brick facing of the Redders Event Center and took a big kick, and he was flying.
2-0. Farquhar takes at the belt for a strike. It's 2-1.
He's taken up a whole nother notch since he went to Lehigh Valley.
Home runs in 4 straight
games. He went to Lehigh Valley and became Mark McGuire all of a sudden.
2 balls, 1 strike to count to Farquhar. Infield ups for Harrisburg. Pitch home. Swung on and a ground ball. Leaping as the second baseman Pena gets it on a hop, and Anthony retreats to third, throw to first in time. So 2 quick outs in the inning now, and that'll bring Jordan Disson to try and salvage that Anthony triple.
Yeah, if Anthony's a better, when I say better base runner, I should really say faster base runner. He probably can take a chance on that because the ball was a high chop into Pena's right. But Anthony doesn't run all that well, and so it's a gamble not worth taking. A faster base runner, because it was not hit right at the infielder, probably takes that chance.
So Jordan Disson up, 2 outs. First pitch, he swings and he fouls it back. It's 0-1. Disson still in search of his first RBI of the season. It's a pristine chance for that right here. Anthony leads off third, 2 outs in the second. 1-0 Harrisburg on top. Infield back, outfield, pretty straight up. And the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, gets by Luckham towards the middle. Charging Pena, the second baseman. Throw to first in time. And that will retire the side in the inning. No runs. Reading had the 1 hit, the triple. But Anthony is stranded on third. And that is how the second inning comes to an end. Senators still on top. It is 1-0. Top half of the third inning, and we want to thank our good friends at Pepsi for presenting the 2025 season here in Baseball Town. Go Fightin' Phillies and drink more Pepsi.
It's like a billboard came to life.
It really is. 1-0 Harrisburg on top. Chuck King back out for his third inning of work, and it's the top of the Lionel DeShields lineup due up for the Senators. The aforementioned DeShields, first base coach for Harrisburg, Oscar Salazar, is their third base coach. Not often you see a manager coaching first, but
I mean, Al Patrico did once in a while,
yeah,
but not for an entire series, which is what it's been so far this year. But the Lionel DeShields was a good base stealer, and so I think there's some merit to having a guy who's a good base stealer as a first base coach.
Philip Glasser leads things off. First pitch to him, up for a ball, 1-0. It kind of brings you back to, that 07-11 Phillies team with Davey Lopes at first base. He did wonders for Jimmy Rollins, Shane Victorino's of the world, and their base stealing abilities. 1-0 is outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1 to Glasser. Glasser 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Flew out the left, back in the first. 1-1 is down low. 2 balls, 1 strike. It is a packed house tonight. Honestly, getting more and more packed as the innings progress.
Pool's open for the first time.
Pool opening day. 2-1 is swung on a line drive, slicing and falling in the right center. It's a base hit. So a leadoff single for Philip Glasser, and that'll bring Nick Schnell to the plate.
Been a great series for Glasser. That is the 7th hit of the series for Glasser.
So Schnell will dig in from the left side. Middle infield, tight in a couple of steps, trying to turn 2. Verdugo's up in the grass at third. against the lefty Schnell. First pitch is up and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Schnell had a double off the center field wall his first time up, back in the first. And he's up in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch home, swing and a miss, 1-1. Good sinker from the right hand of Chuck King.
Yeah, interesting. The board's saying it's a sinker, and obviously that's picked up on the analytics aspect of it, but it almost acted like a changeup for Schnell. He was way out in front of it.
So ball and a strike here to Nick Schnell. No outs, top 3. 1-0 Harrisburg. Pitch home is outside, 2-1. Schnell, after his double, is up to 325 on the season. He's got 7 extra base hits, no home runs. He's driven in 8. And the pitch home, low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike to Schnell. So yeah, right field grandstand pretty much full. Left field grandstand can say the same. Main grandstand might be one of the most packed we've seen it maybe since opening night. King will throw over. Back in safely is Glazer. Left field deck is pretty packed, as is the pub. Pool has a good smattering of people out there tonight. And a 3-1. Runner starts and stops, and it's swung on a miss. It's 3-2.
Same pitch that he had Schnell out in front of again. Again, it's a sinker, but whatever it is with Schnell, it's really throwing him off stride. He's way out in front of it.
So the count's full. No outs to Schnell. Pitch home. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and it foul to the left side and out of play. Infield still tries to turn 2. Another long at bat here. Next pitch will be number 7 to Nick Schnell. And the pitch, runner goes again. The pitch is swung on and fouled, and it stays 3-2. Philip Glazer is getting his cardio in.
Yep, tire him out. He's looking over now to Oscar Salazar like, yeah, can you take the hit and run off for a play? I could use a blow.
Can I get a breather, please? 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count remains. Runner stays put. Pitch home. Swung on, hit in the air. Shallow left. Luis Verdugo's out towards the line. And the third baseman makes the grab for out number 1. So another long at bat from the top of this Harrisburg order, but King wins that battle. And with 1 out, that'll bring Yoandy Morales to the plate.
And Morales is a guy who we kind of saw at the beginning of this series. He was just starting to pick it up a little bit. He came into the series hitting at .234, but he was 5 for 20 on the homestand against Erie, and then got off to a big start with 3 hits in the first game. So he's a guy who quite clearly is seeing the ball much better, timing it up much better, and he's hit the ball hard.
First pitch to Morales. He swings and he fouls it back. It's 0-1.
And he also does not get cheated very often early on in the count.
Morales had an RBI double his first time up back in the first. It was a ground rule double that hopped over the right field wall. 0-1, swung on and popped up. Not deep, shallow right. Out is Farquhar, waves everybody off. And the second baseman makes the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring Joe Naranjo to the plate for Harrisburg.
Great job there by King to get up and in on the kitchen for Morales and got it in off his fists and a lazy infield pop-up. So that's back-to-back infield pop-ups. Now we're after that base hit.
So Naranjo digs in from the left side. 3 of the first 4 in Harrisburg lineup tonight are lefties. King trying to retire Naranjo. First pitch, swung on, hit well, deep left. Mendez back at the track, sizes it up, makes the catch. 2 steps in front of the wall, and that will end the top of the 3rd inning. No runs for the Senators. They had a hit. That man left on base. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Harrisburg leads 1-0. This inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. So bottom three, 1-0 Harrisburg on top. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Reading in the frame. Kyle Luck comes back out for inning number 3 of work. And the first batter Luckham will face will be Luis Verdugo. Start of what's going to be a great weekend here in Baseball Town. Fireworks tonight, fireworks tomorrow night, and then a mascot meet and greet on Sunday to finish off the series before Reading hits the road and heads to Binghamton next week. So Luis Verdugo digs in from the right side, leads things off for Reading. Verdugo, who was originally in the 8-hole last night as the DH, was scratched for Andrik Nava, but appears Verdugo's okay. As the first pitch, a cutter is a strike. It's 0-1. Verdugo digs in from the right side. 0-1 pitch to him is taken down. It's 1-1. Overall, Verdugo's a 158 hitter. He's got a couple of home runs, including one this week, and he's driven in 8. 1-1 is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 1-2. Verdugo steps out, asks for time. Gets it from the home plate umpire, Tyler Whitty. Slightly open stance for Verdugo, Rich Shingard, and he asked for time. So I guess the time before must have been called by the catcher because you only get 1 per at bat. Kyle Luckham peers in, gets a sign from his catcher, Romero Jr. And here's the 1-2 home. That's down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a good night on Wednesday night for Verdugo. It is second home run of the season and a double. The Fightins lost to Harrisburg. And Luckham set the 2-2. Verdugo swings, hits it in the air. Well, right center field. Schnell's back along with De La Cruz. And Carlos De La Cruz runs it down. What a catch by the Harrisburg right fielder. That is out number 1. Robs Luis Verdugo of an extra base hit. If you're watching on MILB TV, take a look at this replay. All 6 feet 9 inches of De La Cruz used on that one.
Yeah,
as he runs into the wall.
He needed every bit of it with his center fielder, Nick Schnell, kind of running an underneath pattern on him as well. Tremendous concentration for Carlos De La Cruz to be able to hold on to that with his counterpart and center fielder coming right at him.
Here's Prado. First pitch to him's down for a ball. It's 1-0. Now, time is called. It looks like something was left out. Not entirely sure. Bat boy repositions. Maybe that was part of the issue. And the 1-0. Swung on and lace foul into the grandstand on the right field line and out of play. It's 1-1. Prado, 197 hitter. He's got a home run, 8 RBI. It was a minor league Rule 5 selection by the Phillies this past offseason. 1-1 is swung on and a ground ball towards the middle. Pena overreaches and the second baseman can't get it. So 1-out single for Elio Prado. That'll flip the lineup card over and bring Robert Moore to the plate. So second hit of the night for Reading. And Moore's up, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out on the first pitch he saw to the first baseman, Joe Naranjo. Good night last night for Robert Moore. Had a home run, a couple of RBI, and scored a run. Pitch home is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Moore, the switch hitter, bats from the left side. 1 out of the inning, 1-0 Harrisburg. Pitch home is outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Moore. Moore entering tonight's the Reading team leader in home runs with 3. Also has a team high 14 runs driven in, which is tied for 9th in the Eastern League entering play today. 2-0 is swung on, hit in the air towards deep center, mile high. Schnell's back at the track, at the wall, and he makes the catch at the edge of the wall, just in front of that Silverline trailer sign. And that is out number 2. Robert Moore definitely gave it a ride, but just not enough. Here's Aiden Miller with 2 outs.
Such a funny game. A ball hit well by Verdugo that De La Cruz makes a great catch on in right center field. A ball that Robert Moore hits well, but unfortunately for him, hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And in between all that is a high chopper for Elio Prado. He's on board with a base hit.
First pitch to Miller is a ball. It's 1-0. I will say, though, that chopper that Prado hit was 107 off the bat. So he hit it hard, just right into the ground.
Right spot, yep.
Ball, no strikes to Miller. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center his first time up. And the pitch is down. 2 balls and no strikes. Prado leads off first. He's got a pair of stolen bases this year. See if Al Patrique thinks about putting him in motion here. And the pitch. Miller swings and fouls it straight down. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike, 2 outs, bottom 3. Harrisburg on top 1-0. Aiden Miller digs back in. Slightly open stance from the right hand of the batter's box for the Phillies' number 2 prospect. Pitch home, Miller swings and he fouls it to the left side. It's 2-2. Sun beginning to set, lights kicking in on this beautiful Friday night in Reading. 2-2, 2 outs to count to Aiden Miller. 34 pitches for Luckham, and he'll throw over and check on Prado, who gets back in without an issue. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count remains to Aiden Miller. Prado inches his lead off of first. And the pitch. That's up for a ball of 3-2. So now Prado will be off on the pitch. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The count to Aiden Miller. Luckham will check on Prado again. He gets back. Interesting to do 3-2. I mean, you know he's going.
Yeah.
He's got no choice.
Absolutely. He's taking off. It's just maybe you can get him leaning a little early.
Can't throw over again. He's already done it twice. 3-2, 2 outs. Pitch home. Miller swings in a ground ball third. Backhand deep in the hole is Morales. Long throw for him. Miller beats it out, and Prado smartly was around second and gets the third.
Boy, I love that. That's great base running by Elio Prado, because Morales deep in the behind the bag, a long throw, great hustle. I mean, Miller, that wasn't even close. Miller beat that easily, and Prado knowing 2 things. Obviously, he had the great jump, and Morales wasn't in position after making the play to cover the bag. So it's a great heads-up base running play by Elio Prado.
So Miller gets an infield single, extends his on-base streak to 16 games, and now it's Hendry Mendez with 2 outs. Men on the corners, 1-0 Harrisburg, bottom 3. And the pitch. Mendez swings, hits it in the air, deep center. Back goes Schnell, sizes it up, and the center fielder makes the catch as he drifts onto the warning track. And that will retire the side in the third. No runs, couple of hits for Reading, but both are left stranded on base. We're through 3. Harrisburg still on top. It's 1-0. Top half of the fourth inning. Harrisburg on top 1-0. Chuck King back on the mound. And to take over on the play-by-play, it's Bob McCool.
Thank you very much, Jake. 1 run on 3 hits and no errors for the Senators. No runs on 3 hits and an error for the Fightins. Chuck King will face Carlos De La Cruz, Jeremy De La Rosa, and Cortland Lawson due up here in the top half of the fourth inning for the Senators. Senators getting the run in the first inning on a couple of doubles from Nick Schnell and Yoande Morales. De La Cruz, his first time up, grounded out to second base to end that first inning. And the first pitch to Carlos, who made a great play in right field the previous inning, is over for a called strike. Carlos now 25 years of age. Undrafted out of high school in 2017. This one driven deep into left center field. Hendry Mendez will turn and say goodbye. Carlos De La Cruz with another big hit in this series. His second home run, his 6th RBI of this series, as Carlos De La Cruz, as he's done so many times in this ballpark, drives one out to the scoreboard in left center field, and the Senators now lead it 2-0. Well, you know it's got to feel great for Carlos. Maybe not necessarily be back here at Double-A after spending a good chunk of last season playing in Triple-A with the Iron Pigs. He spent 65 games here in Reading and then the final 48 with the Iron Pigs, but didn't hit a lot there. There's another line drive off the bat, this time of De La Rosa. That's over the head of Prado, and De La Rosa is going to roll into second base with a stand-up double. So the hard hits off the bat of the Senators continues here into this fourth inning. That is their 3rd double of the night, and obviously with Carlos De La Cruz's home run, their 4th extra base hit of the night. And for De La Rosa, his 3rd double of the season. Still nobody out here in this 4th inning. Just to finish that thought on De La Cruz, so it's got to feel great for Carlos to be back here in Reading and to put on a little bit of a power exposition. And the first pitch now to Cortland Lawson is outside for a ball. Lawson hit a line drive right at third baseman Luis Verdugo his last time up. This time Verdugo up even with the bag with a runner at second base. Now he takes a couple steps back behind the bag, and Lawson takes that for a called strike. Lawson had batted in the 9 spot the last couple of nights, but he's 4 for 8 in those 2 games, so elevated in tonight's game to the 7 spot. And here comes the 1-1 pitch to the Senators shortstop. That's hit on a line drive over the head of Robert Moore and into left field for a base hit. De La Rosa had to hold up to make sure it was over Moore's head, and it is, and another line drive for the Senators. They've got runners at the corners now and nobody out on what is their 3rd hit of the inning and their 6th hit of the night. A reminder that every Tuesday, all active military and veterans receive $3 off box seats thanks to Burke's Oral Surgery and Dental Implant Center. The Fight Phils will be back here in Baseball Town on May the 27th, our next Tuesday here in Reading. As Maxwell Romero now will bat. Off-speed pitch is a swing and a miss. Throw down to second is in time. They throw out Cortland Lawson on the steal attempt. Great tag there by Robert Moore. Disson got rid of it quickly. Well, a little bit to the third base side of the bag, but not a bad throw at all. And a great tag by Robert Moore and a big out there as they throw out Lawson stealing for the first out of the inning. And that will leave a runner at third base now and 1 out. Fightins will now bring the infield up to try to cut down that runner with Romero having an 0-1 count to him. The 0-1 pitch to him is into dirt for a ball. Good block by Disson. So Disson with the throw on the caught stealing, and now a nice block on the second pitch that has Maxwell Romero in a 1-ball-and-1-strike count. Romero popped up in the infield his first time up. Left-handed hitter facing the right-hander Chuck King. 1-1 pitch is ripped into right field. Right at Pineda, but it's going to be deep enough to score the run. Pineda makes the catch. De La Rosa will tag, and he will score without a slide. It'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Romero. His 8th RBI of the season. De La Rosa comes across with the second run of the inning And the third run of the game for the Senators, they lead it now 3-0. Does clear the bases now with 2 outs for Viandel Pena, who grounded out to second base his first time up. 3-0 Harrisburg on top half of the fourth. Nobody actually starting to throw yet in the Phil's bullpen, but a couple of guys are circulating around the mound area as Pena fouls one at the plate. "59 pitches now for Chuck King as he looks into Disson and what to throw on pitch number 60. It's way outside. It's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him again out in front. And it's 1-2 strikes. It's a cutter from King at just 85 miles an hour. So it's not necessarily his changeup, but had the same effect on Pena. And now King looking for the last out here in this fourth inning. Just a bit high, and it's 2-2. And way outside for the next pitch that makes it a 3-2 count. So again, if you're King, have to be around the plate. It's a 9-hole hitter. He's 1 for 9 in the series, hitting at .071 when the game began. Got to make him hit to get on. And he lines this one into left field. It's hit well. Mendez back to the wall, looks up, and it's gone. Viandel Pena drives it out to left field the other way to make it a 4-0 game in favor of the Senators. The first of the year for Pena, his 3rd extra base hit of this season. And a troubling night for Chuck King. We have said it since the first inning. The Senators have been hitting the ball hard off him since the first inning. He got away with it in the second and third inning, but has paid for it here in the fourth as it flips the lineup around now to Philip Glasser. There's a line drive into right field. That's going to be another base hit. It won't be long before the bullpen is no longer just circulating around and starts to get loose. Glasser's second hit of the game. He's now a 2-out base runner at first for Nick Schnell. Schnell got it started for Harrisburg with the double off the center field wall in the first, and then came around to score. And here comes Brad Bergeson to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, a couple of guys moving around in the bullpen for Reading. It's 2 of the newer guys of this roster, but not newer guys to Reading. Andrew Baker, Tommy McCullum.
Both have had a couple different stints here in Reading. Both began the season at Jersey Shore and are now back here in Reading. And so, again, it looks like it's Baker who just delivers his first warm-up pitch. So, not really a stall tactic for Brad Bergeson because Baker's just getting up. Although, looks like Bergeson has a couple of comments talking sideways towards Tyler Whitty. Not sure what that might be all about. It's not like he's getting pinched in any way. Hasn't been had a whole lot of long counts, certainly not in this inning. Man on first, 2 outs, and Schnell at the plate. First pitch to him is ripped down the right field line and hooking foul. It is one hard hit ball after another right now.
That one 108 off the bat, despite it being foul.
Again, the lead off of first for Glasser. 0-1 pitch. This one lifted, fouled on the third base line and slicing towards the grandstand. So he's ahead of Schnell. No balls and 2 strikes. This one's driven into right field. Pineda going back, looks up, and it's long gone high off the Redners Event Center. A towering 2-run home run for Nick Schnell, and it's now a 6-0 Harrisburg lead.
Yeah, 3rd home run of the inning for the Senators. That one came in at 372 feet, 103 off the bat, but I mean, pretty much gets stopped getting track once it hits the sign. That one probably, I mean, if there's no building there, that's probably well over like 420 feet.
And again, you're talking about a guy in Nick Schnell who has not had a home run all year. He hit one that the only reason he doesn't have 2 home runs right now is because he hit it off the highest part of the wall. Here's a slow chopper towards third. Verdugo charges, throws across the diamond, and the 4th inning finally comes to an end, but not before the Senators put on a display, put 5 runs across. They did it on 6 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. It is 6-0 Senators. Klein Transportation is proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Klein Transportation gets the R Phils to all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more information, go to kleintransportation.com. Phils, of course, when this season, as this series ends on Sunday, we'll be heading out on the road. As Keaton Anthony will lead it off here for the Fightins. Phil's headed to Binghamton for a Tuesday game. Those games will start at 6:07 in Binghamton throughout the week, except for Saturday and Sunday when they'll both be 1:05 starts. And then the Phil's back here for our first weekday afternoon game, actually back-to-backers on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 13th and 14th of May. 12 o'clock against New Hampshire and obviously 11 o'clock against New Hampshire on Tuesday. Afternoon games to start the next homestand. As Keaton Anthony fouls off the first pitch and swings and misses over the top of the second. And Kyle Luckham, who now has a 6-run cushion to work with, quickly jumps out ahead of Keaton Anthony, who tripled his first time up. Tripled, and the Phils were not able to get him home. The 0-2 pitch is lifted into right field and shallow. Long run for De La Cruz, and he closes and finishes. Carlos De La Cruz with another fine running catch in right field.
Yeah, if you're Reading, you're looking up at a 6-run deficit right now. Just got to remind yourself, still early in the game, you got 5 at-bats to work with. Just got to chip away. That's kind of the big thing right now. You can't get all 6 back with one swing. Just try to keep doing your job and chip away.
Brings Leandro Pineda at the plate. Pineda fouled out the first time up. And this one on the first pitch again, swinging, grounder towards first. Arano, the first baseman, needs his pitcher covering. Luckham makes a jumping catch at the bag for an easy second out. And all of a sudden, quickly into this 4th inning, 2 outs. So Leandro Pineda has seen 2 pitches so far and is now 0 for 2 as Trent Farquhar will bat. Farquhar grounded out to second base his first time up. Farquhar just 1 for 9 in this series. It was productive. It was a 2-run home run. And first pitch to him is there for a called strike 1. That's way up high. Evens the count at 1 ball and a 1 strike. Farquhar was very productive early on in the season, whether it be by hits or really good at working the count. As he fouls this one out of play, it's 1-2.
Andrew Baker continues to throw in the Reading bullpen, so all signs look like he will get the top half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that the Senators had sized up Chuck King. Pitch to the plate, chopper up the middle. Lawson ranges to his left. Can't quite keep his balance, and he also had Pena kind of obstructing him a little bit. In the end, they don't make the play at first. Farquhar safe on first.
I think that should be a hit. We'll see what they officially rule it. I mean, that was definitely not a routine play by any means, and yeah, it's a hit. So first of the day for Trent Farquhar. See if Reading can do something now with a 2-out base runner.
You got to, I think, factor in how far he had to go to get there. I mean, he was 6-8 feet to the left of the second base bag from the shortstop spot.
That's anything but routine, Bob.
Absolutely. As Jordan Disson now will bat with Farquhar. Good size lead off at first. And Disson takes the first one low for a ball. Disson also grounded out to second base his first time up. Big hole that way right now with Naranjo holding Farquhar on at first and Pena cheating towards the second base bag. 1-0 pitch to Disson. Big swing, no contact. Disson had a nice road trip with the bat to Portland. He was 4 for 10 in the series and then had a hit in the first game of this series. But unfortunately, that has been the last hit. 1 for 8 now in the series. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. And he fouls that one straight back. So the count now 1-2 to the catcher, Jordan Disson. Time called by Disson at the plate. Back in the box. Digs the back foot in. Farquhar has to get back on a snap move by Kyle Luckham.
Yeah, it's a very big lead for Farquhar. He's got 7 stolen bases this year. I wonder 1-2, maybe they try to send him here, maybe thinking you're going to get something off speed thrown to Disson.
And if he gets thrown out, then Disson starts with a clean count. 1 ball and 2 strikes, not going and fouled out of play. Luckham, a 25-year-old right-hander, originally from Fullerton, California. 2022 fifth-round draft pick of the Nationals out of Arizona State. Last year made 21 starts with the Senators, 4 more starts at AAA with the Rochester Redbirds. 1-2 pitch at the dirt, good block by Romero. Farquhar has to stay put. The count now is 2-2 to Disson. Last year with Harrisburg, Luckham was 5-8 with a 4.47 earned run average. Also surrendered 15 home runs last year. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one lifted down the first base line, but fading into foul territory. De La Cruz gives it a chase, but we'll give up on it.
State 4 of the series. Still feels weird saying De La Cruz on the other team.
I mean, he still has a red on, so it kind of helps.
He's playing in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And he just hit one off the scoreboard, so you've seen that act too. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jordan Disson is retired for the final out here in the 4th. Just the second strikeout for Luckham, but he is right now in cruise control as the Phils get no runs, 1 hit, no error, and 1 left, 4 complete. It is 6-0, Harrisburg on top. Top half of the 5th inning, the Reading Fightin Phils will turn things over to the bullpen for the first time tonight, and the right-hander Andrew Baker comes in for the Fightins.
Yeah, it's the second appearance for Baker with Reading. He made 1 on April 24th against Portland, took the loss, 4 runs over 1 inning of work. Made 5 appearances with Jersey Shore, where he started the season and was promoted up to Reading on April 22nd.
Baker will face Joe Naranjo, Carlos De La Cruz, and Jeremy De La Rosa for the Senators here in the 5th inning. And the first pitch from Baker is low for a ball. Naranjo, one of the few Senators who has not been part of this outburst so far. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, although he's hit the ball hard. And the 1-0 pitch is up high for a ball. It's 2-0. Naranjo, the left-handed hitter, and the 2-0 pitch. Broken bat, humpback liner, and now he's a part of the show as he jumps one into center field for a base hit. Sounded like a broken bat, but Naranjo will trade it for the hit. 10th hit of the night for the Senators, and here comes De La Cruz.
Yeah, a lot of hard contact for Harrisburg. That one, not so much. I mean, it was still 93 off the bat, but Baker broke the bat of Naranjo, so here's De La Cruz. He's had himself a good night. Good series so far for him, too. A couple home runs, a big double the other night.
Now facing a former teammate in Baker. Of course, Chuck King was not with the Fightins last year. So Baker, of course, and De La Cruz have been teammates the last 3 seasons here in Reading times. And the first pitch, an off-speed pitch that De La Cruz goes chasing. So Baker gets ahead of Carlos, no balls and a strike. De La Cruz with the towering home run his last time up. 1 for 2 on the night. There's a good breaking pitch that locked him up. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes now to De La Cruz. Naranjo takes his lead off of first. Baker, a peek over his shoulder, comes with the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. No, he fouled it down the third baseline. I thought he missed it.
It's that twilight time where it's hard to see the ball.
No excuses. Just none. I really did think he missed it. But he did. He fouled it off. So he's still alive. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Carlos grounded out to second, his first at bat. Then with the home run, his 4th of the year, 11 RBIs. Again, he has now 6 of his 11 RBIs on the season in this series. Baker back with his 0-2 pitch. This one popped up foul, drifting over the Phils dugout and into the first base grandstand, and De La Cruz stays alive. I do find it interesting, Carlos, with a different stance now at the plate. He had those long legs of his spread out and spanned from one end of the batter's box to the other. not quite as wide, and he also is now up on the front toe, which is also a different look. Now Baker with a pickoff attempt. Naranjo had barely stepped off the bag. Dives back in without a problem. Runner at first, nobody out, top of the fifth. Dan Baker with a look. And a pitch. And again, De La Cruz fouls it out of play. There have been a lot of souvenirs in this series.
As I said, the baseball budget, not a friendly week for it.
We'll try it again. Nope, we're not. Pickoff attempt. Baker did not get set on the mound. Came back with his pickoff attempt. Pretty concerned with Naranjo. Can't imagine that he's going anywhere with a 6-run lead.
He is 4 for 4 in stolen bases this year.
0-2 pitch. Roller towards the left side. Verdugo to second for one. The relay is not in time. De La Cruz does get down the line to beat it out, so it'll be a fielder's choice. Force out at second.
Yeah, I mean, good play, Verdugo, Farquhar. They did all they could, but ball just wasn't hit hard enough and too much of a chopper to have them turn to. De La Cruz was booking it down the line, used those long legs of him to eat up plenty of ground as he ran.
So that'll bring up Jeremy De La Rosa. De La Rosa with a double his last time up, was also safe on an error his first time up as he had a line drive right at right fielder Leandro Pineda, and he couldn't catch it. This time a squirter back to the box, but hit his foot. So the ball immediately called dead by Tyler Whitty at the plate on the one hopper back to the pitcher's mound. So De La Cruz, the runner at first, 1 out, and no balls and a strike to De La Rosa. That's way inside as he tries to get that back foot out of the way. So he fouled a pitch off the front foot and then gets the back foot out of his way. One pitch. Pretty much the same pitch, except this time it was a slider instead of the fastball, but same location, and it's 2-1. This one lifted down the third base line and slicing towards the 67 club. And De La Rosa still sits at 2-2. De La Cruz laid off at first, not a huge lead. This one fisted
up,
straight
Bob.
back right in our direction, but
That was close. Closest we've had this season.
it was the closest we had this season.
Everyone in front of us looks to be okay, most importantly.
Yeah. Bounce back. A couple of kids looking a little rattled, but they're okay. Always keep your eyes on the ball, boys and girls. This one is outside, and the count is now full to De La Rosa.
You rattled at all?
No. Not at all. I knew it was to my right, and if it's to my right, it's going to miss.
And if it's to your right, it's definitely not coming to me.
Tried it 3-2. De La Cruz takes off, swing and a miss. Disson throws down, and he got him. Strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the fifth. Baker strikes out De La Rosa, and then Disson throws out De La Cruz, and that ends the fifth inning for Harrisburg. No runs, 1 hit, no error, and ultimately nobody left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth at 6-0. Senators on top. Bottom half of the fifth inning is presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community nestled on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including the Lebanon County Rail Trail. Kyle Luckham back to work here in the fifth inning, and he's been solid so far. He's only struck out 2, but that hasn't mattered. He has not walked a batter as well. He's only surrendered 4 hits, so he has been in control. Phil's had a leadoff triple from Keaton Anthony in the second inning. We're not able to get him around. Had a couple of singles in the third. Weren't able to take advantage of that, and a 2-out single last inning from Trent Farquhar. So Luckham has not really been in all that much trouble at all as he faces Verdugo for the second time. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up, foul territory and playable. Naranjo, the first baseman, will make the catch. And 1 pitch and 1 out here in the fifth.
Yeah, Luckham's looked good for Harrisburg tonight. He's induced a lot of weak contact, and with that, just 53 pitches so far. And I mean, you have a 6-0 lead too, so Luckham's probably just out there feeling good, pitching free and easy.
That'll bring Elio Prado to the plate. Prado with a base hit his last time up, single up the middle. And he takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Today's Fightin' Phil's Alumni Report is presented by Deer Country, and you better be paying attention to what Otto Kemp is doing. Otto Kemp, of course, was here for most of the season a year ago in Reading. Swing and a miss here by Prado, but he is having himself a season right now for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Pretty much leads them in just about every offensive category. He's got 2 more hits tonight, 2 for 3 tonight. As the Pigs were once down 8-1, they're rallying. They've got the game now within 8-5 as Prado slices this one foul out of play. But Lehigh Valley's also playing some unbelievable baseball. They are now 22-8 on the season. One ball and 2 strikes now to Elio Prado. Just misses, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, that Pigs team, they're doing well right now. And I mean, Otto Kemp, it's going to get to a point where the Phillies have to at least entertain a conversation about him.
Yeah, I mean, Wes Wilson has been the guy who is their right-handed bat. 2-2 pitch. And they've also been playing Kemp at some other positions, I think, because of that. I think he's played a little bit of the outfield this year as well.
Left field and also some first. We know he's played second and a lot of third.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to Elio Prado. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Prado goes down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Luckham. Out number 2 here in the fifth.
But the whole other thing with Kemp is that I just don't know if, you don't want to call him up to play once or twice a week.
Right.
I think you wait until there's an opportunity, whether it's an injury or just performance-wise, where there's an excuse, hey, okay, he's going to play every day.
Right. And, I mean, the Pigs are playing well. There's one fouled out of play off the bat of Robert Moore. Let him have some success in Lehigh Valley. Let him be part of a team that's playing well. Right now, they have him batting in the 2-hole behind Justin Crawford. Makes teams go after Crawford a little bit. As the pitch this time to Robert Moore is low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Moore, who's 0 for 2 so far in the game. Grounded out to Naranjo at first base. Flew out to deep center field his last time up. Switch hitter batting left-handed against Luckham in a 1 ball and 1 strike count. Way inside, it's 2-1. Beats this one foul at the plate to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs now for the Fightins in the bottom of the fifth inning. Trying to generate some kind of offense. Right now it's very quiet, and why wouldn't it be in the Harrisburg bullpen? Two and 2 to Moore. Beats another one foul at the plate. Phil's bullpen is quiet as well, which obviously means Andrew Baker will be back out for the 6th inning. Jake mentioned it at the break. We've seen a couple nice throws from Jordan Disson tonight. Throwing out De La Cruz to end the inning. 2-2 pitch. Over for a called strike 3, and Luckham ends up striking out the final 2 batters in the 5th as Moore goes down looking for the Phillies in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 5 complete. It's 6-0 Harrisburg.
Congratulations, Suliani won all 6 tickets to the May 17th game. That's tonight's Burke's Eye Vision Challenge.
Established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern Pennsylvania. Located between Philadelphia, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring, it offers a true test of golf on a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more information. Andrew Baker is indeed back out for his 2nd inning of work, and he will face Cortland Lawson, Maxwell Romero, and Viandel Pena, 7, 8, 9 in the Harrisburg lineup. 6 runs on 10 hits for the Senators, no runs on 4 for the Fightins. Harrisburg won game 1 and 2 of this series. Fightins won last night, breaking that 10-game slide. And the first pitch from Andrew Baker to Cortland Lawson is over for a called strike. Lawson 1 for 2 on the night. And a swing and a miss as Baker pulls the string on the slider, had Lawson way out in front. Infield plays Lawson to pull the right-handed hitter. The outfielder slightly the other way. 0-2 pitch, way outside. Baker overthrows the slider. Baker, 25 years of age, originally from Montgomery, Alabama. 1-2 pitch from him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And his second strikeout is the first out here in the 6th.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Baker. Dialed it back to 97 on that one. Good run on that fastball, too. Kind of started it out over the plate and got some run on it, and Cortland Lawson can't catch up to it.
So that'll bring up Maxwell Romero. Romero, the only member of the Harrisburg lineup without a base hit in this game, but he did have a sacrifice fly and an RBI his last time up, and he can't catch up to the high fastball from Baker, and it's no balls and a strike to the catcher. So Harrisburg has spread their 10 hits out around 8 of the members of their batting order, with the exception of Romero. But with that sacrifice fly, his 8th RBI of the season. Left-hander, 0-1 pitch to him is, again, slider that's in the dirt. And just misses a bit low. It's 2-1. Slow roller right side. Keaton Anthony will make the play right beside the bag and easily tag the bag for out number 2. on a slow, soft hit ground ball off the bat of Maxwell Romero.
Yeah, since that leadoff single last inning by Naranjo, it's been 4 straight retired by Baker. The caught stealing sprinkled in there as well. Let's even get Pena here and assume it's probably his last inning, and if so, try to finish it off on a good note.
Pena with the home run the other way his last time up, his first home run of the season. Just his 3rd extra base hit of the year. And swings at the first pitch and way out in front of it. And Baker now out in front of him, no balls and a strike. So that's the other piece of the puzzle for Baker in this inning. He's working ahead of hitters. Just misses the outside corner, makes it 1-1.
It's not a bad miss, though, of that slider at all. Put it right on the outside corner. You at least make Pena think about it. Maybe you get a call from the umpire.
And now this time misses off the inside corner, and it's 2-1. Baker, 2 years ago when he first came to Reading, was routinely hitting triple digits on the radar gun, still popping it at 97. 2-1. Beats another slow roller. Baker will make the play himself, toss to first, and it is a very easy 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th for Andrew Baker. As Harrisburg, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Offense looking to come alive as the Fightins are down 6-0. Bottom half of the 2nd inning, and now Padrique's lineup here in the 6th will be his 2, 3, and 4-hole hitters, Aiden Miller, Henry Mendez, and Keaton Anthony. And they need to get something started here. Kyle Luckham has been in control, as we talked about last inning, and the Senators lead it 6-0. This day in baseball town history, presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of our Phils. And this factoid from one Jake Starr is a legendary factoid here in baseball town. May 2nd, 1970, here in Reading, Greg Lazinski hits his first Double-A home run, a blast that reportedly landed 5 feet shy of the brick wall in left field. And if you've been here, you should know how far that is. As the first pitch to Aiden Miller's up and in, an estimated 500 feet from home plate. Reading beats Manchester 7-3 in a game that is called in the 6th inning due to rain. There have been photos of that. I know there was one. I think is it still in the press, in the other main part of the press box, of a photo of where that ball supposedly landed up behind what is now the Seidel Auto Group deck. 2-0 pitch to Miller. It's inside. It's 3-0 now to Aiden Miller leading off. Greg Lazinski had an unbelievable year here in 1970. And then, of course, was with the Phillies from that point forward in 71. A big piece of the Phil's rise from the ashes to a playoff team in the 70s. And this one is over in the outside corner for a called strike 1 to Aiden Miller. 3 balls and a strike to Miller, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game with a single his last time up. Beats this one foul towards the Senators' dugout. It's 3-2. And I will tell you, Jake Starr, that growing up as a kid, Greg Lazinski was my favorite Philly.
Your favorite Phil?
Yeah, and if you look
over Mike Schmidt?
Yes. And he had some really great years before knee injury started to slow him down. 3 balls and 2 strikes. In the dirt, ball 4. Aiden Miller works a leadoff walk. So the Phils need base runners, and Hayden Miller gets us started. First walk surrendered by Luckham. 75 and 77, I think it was, for Greg Lazinski. He was the runner-up in the MVP voting to Joe Morgan in 75 and George Foster at 52 home runs for the Reds in 77. But Lazinski was a 300 caliber hitter and obviously unbelievable power as Hendry Mendez slices one foul and off the netting and into the grandstands. Mendez 0 for 2 so far on the night. As Miller, a good-sized lead off of first. This one popped up in the infield. The pitcher, Luckham, is calling for it. They didn't let him catch it, and he makes the out.
Usually you don't want that, but when it's kind of more of a bloop like that, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's one where it's like a mile high in the air where you get out of the way, but one like that, no, if I'm Harrisburg, I have no issue with Luckham making that play.
And it was, because Morales had to go a long way from third, and because Pena was pretty deep at second with a left-hand hitter up, it might have been the best scenario for Luckham to make the catch himself. So that's one out for Keaton Anthony. Anthony 1 for 2 with a triple off the left center field fence his first time up. Phillies were not able to get him around despite it being a leadoff triple. And the first pitch to him is away for a ball. It's 1-0. So 9 extra base hits now on the season for Keaton Anthony, 7 of them doubles. A triple and a home run to go along with that. And it's 2-0. Of course, to finish off the thought, Greg Lazinski still very much a part of Phillies, not only lore, but Phillies present as well with his Bulls barbecue at Citizens Bank Park.
It's my go-to when I go to the games.
I was just going to say, that's the last time I was at a game last year, that's where I ate. That's a pretty good barbecue sandwich, I'm not going to lie. It's
not cheap.
But yeah, no, that's a very valid point. But, you have to assume that if you look at Greg Lazinski, that his food's going to be good.
I bet John Kruk probably makes good food, too.
Absolutely. Or at least he knows where to go get it.
I need like a Krucker, like some sort of John Kruk theme. Like there's a Schmitter, I know that.
Correct. That's a good point. And
Krucker
single in
rolls
on a
off the
specific food item. 2-0 pitch to Anthony. Just catches the outside corner. It's 2-1.
You notice Naranjo was not holding Miller on the last one. Now he kind of is, but I think he was playing up for a bunt, but now he's kind of back to holding him on. Just more of an unconventional way of him holding Miller on.
2-1 pitch to Anthony again. Catches the outside corner. Keaton Anthony didn't think so. Yeah, you're right. I noticed that the other night about how Naranjo holds the runners on. He's not on the bag. He is all but about 2 feet in front of it, kind of straddling the bag. See that from some point, but he's really off the bag. 2-2 now to Keaton Anthony. Here is a pickoff attempt. Miller not much of a lead at that point in time. He had just started to step off the bag. So it's 2-2 to Keaton Anthony. Hayden Miller at first, 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th inning. And that one misses again, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, a couple of thoughts of that. One, it could be a comfort thing. 2, it could be easier to kind of spring into your ready position. And 3, maybe if anything, it maybe kind of cuts off the lane that Miller can take back to the bag, where he's kind of forced to take that back part, which is what you're taught to do, but still, you kind of close them off into only one spot of the bag.
So we'll try it now with 3 balls and 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter, Keaton Anthony. Fouls it straight back. Good cut there by Anthony. Philadelphia Phillies trailing the Arizona Diamondbacks at Citizens Bank Park. 2-1 going to the top of the 7th. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3 as Anthony cannot catch up to the high heat. And that is out number 2 here in the 6th. Strikeout number 5 now for Luckham. And he's had 1 in each of the last 3 innings. And that will bring up Leandro Pineda. Pineda 0 for 2. Foul out and a ground out. And he takes his first pitch of the night, takes it up and in for a ball. De La Cruz playing Pineda well towards the center
Yeah.
field side. If Leandro Pineda could hit one down the first baseline, Miller will walk home and Pineda will run for a while. 1-0 pitch. Little fister in the middle of the infield in no man's land. Lawson off balance, throws it in time. Great recovery by the shortstop, Cortland Lawson, and the off-balance throw is in time to get Leandro Pineda for the third and final out. For the Phils in a 6, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. 6 complete, 6-0. Senators lead it.
Percentage of the team do you think picked salsa? He says 45% like salsa more.
All right, do we think it's higher or lower than 45%? I think it's higher. All right, let's take a look at the video board for our answer.
Hi, I'm Caleb Ricketts. How many of us prefer salsa? 42%. It was not higher. It was lower, Justin. Congratulations. You won all 4 tickets.
That's tonight's PSECU Harlow game.
Top of the 7th inning is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. And as always, we invite you to stick around after the game tonight for our White Star Travel post-game show. And a new pitcher in for the Fightin Phils. Jake Starr, fill us in.
Reading's had a tendency of going from one Andrew to another. I think it's always like Bechtold to Schultz, Bechtold to Walling, and we do it again tonight. Andrew Bechtold is in, 7th game, 0-1, 7.50 ERA, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks, 6 innings pitched.
So the right-hander will face the top of the lineup in Philip Glasser, Nick Schnell, and Yohande Morales, and all of them have had productive nights so far. And Glasser swings at the first pitch, fouls it in and out of the mitt of Jordan Disson. Glasser singled his last 2 times up. He is 2 for 3 with a run scored. Glasser's got 2 hits. Schnell's got 2 hits. And Morales has an RBI double as well, the top 3 hitters in the lineup. Righty on lefty matchup. And the pitch up high, it's 1-1.
Yeah, how about Andrew Baker? 2 innings a hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Good outing for the 25-year-old Baker.
Bechtold's 1-1 pitch. There for a called strike 2.
Bechtold, a local product from Chadds Ford, played his high school baseball at Garnet Valley High School, former Jaguar of the Central League.
Phil's playing the left-hand hitter Philip Glasser to pull. One-two pitch. Beats it on the ground towards Farquhar. Takes a high hop to him at the last bounce and makes it a little easier play. And that will do it for Glasser with 1 out here in the 7th.
Bechtold, an interesting story, was drafted by the Twins at a Chipola Junior College, began his career as a hitter, then started to do both, and then transitioned later to a full-time pitcher. And then signed with the Blue Jays last year, completely was a pitcher last year, full-time, and now he comes to the Phillies. So I wonder if you went to him in 2017 and said, hey, you're going to be a pitcher one day, and for your hometown organization. I don't know what he would have said about that.
Brings Nick Schnell to the plate. He hits one on the ground. Farquhar ranges to his right, knocks it down, and that's as much as he can do. Schnell will be safe at first base. He's on board for the 3rd time this game.
Yeah, off the bat, I think Farquhar thought that was more towards the middle than what it actually was. So he kind of started running thinking it was going to be way over the middle, not kind of realizing it was going to kind of come back to him a little bit. So I think he just overran it a little bit. They haven't put up hitter error yet, so still waiting on that. And they are going to give it a hit, so.
Hit number 11 for the Senators as Morales now will bat. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. Goes chasing after a cutter.
I mean, I'm sure Farquhar would tell you it's a play he should make, but kind of in the rules of, is it routine? Answer is no.
And now another cutter to Morales, and he takes this one for a called strike.
Well, I think most professionals will tell you that is a routine play.
Yep.
But it's kind of defined nowadays that if you take out, I think it's 2 or 3 steps, it's considered excessive effort. Argue with whoever on that, whether you think that's right or wrong. That's just kind of the way it goes nowadays.
0-2 pitch to Morales is up and in. Well, I think you give an excessive effort every night.
Me?
And you're virtually errorless.
Try my best.
Absolutely.
At least I haven't called him the Nationals yet this week.
No, I got that taken care of. I haven't done it yet tonight.
Knock on wood, Bob.
3 for the first 3 games. Morales goes down swinging. Strike 3 as Bechtold gets him to chase, and that's 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, that cutters look good from Bechtold tonight, and that time you look at the replay on our MLB TV feed, kind of starts it in and up and then kind of fades out, and nothing Morales can do about that.
That'll bring up Naranjo. Naranjo 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Another lefty in this lineup. There are 6 left-handers in Delano DeShield's lineup tonight, including the switch hitter Pena. First pitch to Naranjo is down low for a ball.
I mean, Reading went with a righty tonight, and they only have 1 lefty available in the bullpen, and that's Wesley Moore, because Walling's on the IL, and the other lefty who was in the bullpen was Fosnot. He pitched last night, usually a starter, so yeah, it's just Moore, so not really any worries about that right now.
Braden Fosnot getting the win last night for the Fightins with his 4 innings of work, as Bechtold misses up and away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Joe Naranjo.
He was a good effort for Fosnot, came into a tough situation, gave up a home run on the first pitch he threw, but really from there was pretty strong. A bit of a rough patch in the 9th, but worked out of it.
And Bechtold misses down low. It's 3-0. Phil's pitchers, Bechtold being the 3rd. Chuck King started, went 4. Andrew Baker went 2. Neither surrendered a walk. Bechtold right now is 3-0 on Joe Naranjo. And he misses. He takes that, gets that one at the letters for a called strike 1.
Even all the damage has come off hits tonight.
Yep.
11 hits for Harrisburg, no walks issued by Fightin's pitching. So they're a lot more in the zone, but it just, for King, the struggle tonight was being too much in the zone at times.
On the ground, Anthony knocked it down, rolls it towards Farquhar, who will make the play at first. Nice combination from Anthony to Farquhar. Back to Anthony for the out.
Little 3-4-3, just like we drew it up.
Absolutely. Takes care of business in the 7th for the Senators. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. 7th inning stretch in Baseball Town. It's 6-0 Harrisburg. Bottom half of the 7th inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. Fight Phil's looking for a little justice against Kyle Luckham, who has held them to 4 hits, has walked just 1, and obviously has not surrendered a run as he's back here to start the 7th inning of work in a 6-0 Harrisburg advantage. Still nobody up, loosening up for the Senators. So if Luckham does get in trouble, he's got a little bit of rope, obviously, if they need to get somebody going. And it looks like the Phillies, first, I was about to say tied it up.
They took the lead.
On a Kyle Schwarber home run, but now they lead it as Max Kepler has homered. So the Philadelphia Phillies on top 3-2 now in Arizona. a couple of home runs, one from Kyle Schwarber and one from Max Kepler. First pitch to Trent Farquhar leading off here in the bottom of the 7th is a strike. The 0-1 pitch is beaten foul towards the Savage 61 dugout suite. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Farquhar, who's 1 for 2 on the night. His second hit of this series. He's now 2 for 10 in total in the series. Fouled straight back, and Jake, if that net wasn't there.
That was coming right for us.
But, you know, thank you, Safety Ed. Just, you know, keep with the theme. No balls and 2 strikes. Farquhar just misses the pitch. It's 1-2. Farquhar to be followed by Jordan Disson and Luis Verdugo here in the 7th inning for the Fightins. And that just misses. Luckham was walking off the mound. Romero was ready to throw it down to third. And I can only imagine that somebody might be making a comment in the dugout, and now Tyler Woody has waving back saying hello. It's 2-2 to Trent Farquhar. And he'll a little humpback liner, but Morales jumps just a little bit and has it. Farquhar did not get much on it off his fists, and Morales catches it for out number 1. The little humpback liner is the first out here in the 7th for Jordan Disson, who's 0 for 2 so far on the night with a ground out and a strikeout. Phils and Senators back at it tomorrow night here at FirstEnergy Stadium. 6:45 again is our first pitch. First pitch to Disson is in the dirt for a ball. The Diamond Credit Union Plaza will open up at 4:45. Seating bowl at 5:45. And of course, fireworks to finish off the night tomorrow night here in Baseball Town. 1-0 pitch to Disson. Joss misses. It's 2-0. Beats this one on the ground towards Morales, ranging to his left. The third baseman will make the throw in plenty of time. And that is 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, Luckham's got 5 strikeouts tonight. He's issued just 1 walk. Lots of weak contact off the bats of the Fightin' Phils. I mean, best outing of the season for Luckham. He's going to go season high in innings, season high in hits, match or season high in strikeouts. Sure, a lot for the Senators to be happy about with their righty Luckham, the 25-year-old tonight.
And now for the first time we see some action in the bullpen as Verdugo bats. He's 0 for 2. The first pitch to him is a called strike. Verdugo flew out to right, popped up to first in his 2 plate appearances so far. Hits it hard down the third base line and foul. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Luis Verdugo. Luckham winds and delivers. Over for a called strike 3. Verdugo goes down looking, and a pump of the fist and into the glove for Luckham as his job is no doubt done for the night, and an impressive one for the 25-year-old right-hander for the Fightins in the bottom of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 7 complete. It's 6-0 Harrisburg. We head to the top half of the 8th inning. Andrew Bechtold back out for his 2nd inning of work, and it's time for me to put Jake Starr back to more work. He'd take over the play-by-play.
So While Missing Restaurant and Bakery offers 2 great dining options, a menu with locally sourced delicious choices, and a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't miss their homemade bakery items, including challah bread, Danishes, cupcakes, and a variety of cakes, pies, and donuts. While Missing Restaurant and Bakery and owner Raj Chaudhry are proud to be 2025 Fightin Phillies Team Feed partners. Top of the 8th, 6-0 Harrisburg. And Andrew Bechtold remains in for the Fightin Phillies. Carlos De La Cruz will lead things off for Harrisburg. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 to the plate for the visitors in tonight's ball game. And the first pitch home is out for a ball. It's 1-0. We do have a defensive substitution. Felix Reyes has entered the game in left field. So it appears Hendry Mendez's night is done. Next pitch is over for a strike. It's 1-1. Not sure if that's injury related or just anything else. If we do get any updates, we will certainly relay that down to you. Next pitch, De La Cruz swinging a ground ball to Hopper to the third baseman Verdugo. Fields it, fires the first in time. That's out number 1. And that'll bring Jeremy De La Rosa to the plate for Harrisburg. Game 4 of 6 between Reading and Harrisburg. Senators won 2 of the first 3. And they're 6 outs away from making that 3 of the first 4. Or see if the Fightin Phillies can get some early fireworks. Precursor to tonight's fireworks shows, thanks to your local Kia dealers. First pitch to De La Rosa, swinging a line drive towards shallow left center over an Inez Prado. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 2 quickly. And that'll bring Cortland Lawson to the plate. Looks like Harrisburg does have some action in their bullpen currently. We assume Kyle Luckham's night is done.
He's at 93 pitches when he came off the mound. Can't ask for better performance. And very rare to see anybody in the minors at this point with that many pitches in an outing.
First pitch to Lawson, a ball, it's 1-0. Two outs in the top of the 8th, 6-0 Harrisburg. Pitch home, swinging a fly ball, hit towards deep center. Back is Prado, over the shoulder, reaches up and makes the catch as he drifts on to the warning track. 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Bechtold. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Harrisburg 6, Reading nothing. Bottom of the 8th inning, and we'll take a look at our Fightin Phillies team leaders, presented by PA Army National Guard. Fightin Phillies team leader in home run and RBI. Entering tonight is the man due up second in this inning, Robert Moore, who also leads the team in on-base percentage and OPS. Entering tonight's ball game. 6-0 Harrisburg leads in the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher in for Harrisburg. It's Ivan Armstrong, Bob.
Armstrong making his 2nd appearance of this series and his 10th appearance of the season. He's 1-1 with a 3.48 earned run average. 10 1/3 innings pitch. He's given up 11 hits, 4 runs, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's also surrendered a couple of home runs. He pitched in game 1 of this series, 1 inning and 2/3. Phil's got him for a hit and a run.
So Elio Prado leads things off for the Fightin' Phils. First one home to him is down and away for a ball to the righty. It's 1-0.
And the run that the Phils got was one of those home runs. Luis Verdugo hit his home run off of him in Tuesday night's series opener.
So let's see if the Fightin' Phils can get to the Harrisburg bullpen. Next pitch a strike. It's 1-1. Prado tonight's game, he's 1 for 2. A single and a strikeout. Fightin' Phils have been held scoreless so far. 1-1 is swung on and a ground ball third foul. It's 1-2. Reading has not been shut out yet this year. Last time Reading was shut out, it was August 3rd of last year against Hartford. It was a 3-0 defeat. 2-2, swinging a ground ball towards the middle, but Pena, the second baseman, had it played perfectly. He gobbles it up and fires the first in time. That's out number 1. And that'll bring Robert Moore up. And what an outing tonight for Kyle Luckham. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, just 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts for the 25-year-old Luckham.
I cannot honestly remember how many times we have seen 90-plus pitches.
Or 7 innings.
Yeah, but that too. But just don't see that anymore in the minor leagues.
First pitch to Moore is taken. It's 1-0. Moore hitless tonight. He's 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, and a strikeout in his last at-bat. 260 on the year, 3 homers, 14 RBI. Next one home is down and in. It's 2-0. It was a good night last night for Moore. Had a home run, couple of RBI. And the Fightins win over Harrisburg. And the pitch. He swings, hits it in the air towards left. Not deep. In comes De La Rosa, makes the catch. And that's out number 2. So that'll bring Aiden Miller to the plate. Reading does have bullpen action. It's Tommy McCullum, who's up and throwing in the bullpen for the Fightin' Phils. The longtime Fightin' will be making his season debut once he enters in the 9th inning. First pitch to Miller is a ball. It's 1-0. Felix Reyes awaits on deck for the Fightin' Phils. He entered the game for Hendry Mendez an inning ago. Next pitch is a strike to Miller. It's 1-1. Was a defensive substitution for Reyes for Mendez. 1-1 Miller will take it for a strike. It's 1-2. Miller 1 for 2 tonight. He's been aboard a couple of times. Single and a walk has extended his Eastern League leading on base streak to 16 games. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And Miller's down on strikes. First strikeout for Armstrong ends the bottom half of the 8th inning. Reading down quietly in the 8th. We will head to the 9th. Harrisburg on top. It is 6-0. Top of the 9th inning. 6-0. Fightin' Phils trail Harrisburg. And the fourth pitcher of the night is in for Reading. It is Tommy McCullum, Bob, making his season debut for the Fightin' Phils.
Clearly not his Reading debut. He's been here over the course of a couple different times. But at Jersey Shore this season, he appeared in 7 games and pitched well. He's 1-0 with a 1.13 earned run average. In 8 innings pitched, he gave up just 3 hits, just 1 run. He struck out 10, he walked 3.
So it'll be 8, 9, and 1. Due up for the Senators. Maxwell Romero will lead things off. Digs in from the left side here against Tommy McCullum. Good outing for Andrew Bechtold. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. With the new pitcher, Tommy McCullum, in. Finished 2023 with Reading, was here all of last year. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, it's 0-1, was high, and Romero just couldn't hold up. McCullum went 10 for 10 in save opportunities a season ago. Led the Fightin' Phils in saves. Some of them were a bit heart-pumping, but got the job done. 0-1, down, it's 1-1. That's what he has out of a closer. If you get the job done, that's what he did last year, 10 for 10 in saves. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Romero. 0 for 2 tonight with the sac fly. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. So Tommy McCullum, per request earlier today, came out to a new walk-up song, Bob. Do you know who, I'm going to say it wrong. I know I am.
Well, then I don't know who it is.
Chappelle Roan is? Chapel Roan? I think it's Chapel Roan.
I heard the name.
You have heard the name?
I have heard the name.
That's a little surprising. And the 1-2 is down 2-2. Have you heard the popular Chapel Roan song, Hot to Go?
I doubt it, but I never know. Maybe if
You
I
may have
heard
heard
it,
it.
maybe just sing a couple of bars.
You want me to sing it?
Yes.
It was just playing throughout the entire stadium.
I was focusing on my work.
Your work. That's
what I do.
That's a word for it.
That's what I do.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on is swung on, crushed down the right field line. Backs Pineda. It's over his head. 1 hops the wall. Around first goes Romero. He heads the second, but it actually got over the wall and came back in. So it'll be a ground roll double. Second one
Second
tonight.
time that happened tonight. Man, it happened back on the Morales double in the first inning. It's also the 3rd double of the night.
Yeah, hit the netting above the pool.
I shortchanged him. It's the 4th double of the night for the Senators and their 5th extra base hit.
Do you remember Trevor Schwecke last year hit a ball that bounced on the warning track, went into the pool, and everybody in the stadium thought it was a home run?
Absolutely.
And, he rounded the bases, the lights flashed, the umpires had to discuss to figure out, oh, wait, that ball hit the warning track before it went over the wall.
Yep, it bounced in.
Here's Vidiel Pena, first pitch. Is swung on a ground ball towards short. Moore backhands, fields it, throws the first in time. Runner stays put. Very nice play by Robert Moore at short for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a great play. It's a left-handed hitter, and he's cheating up the middle. And he's also got a man on second base, and also the reason why he's cheating up the middle. The ball hit to his right. He makes the play backhanded and then has to get something on the throw, and he got plenty on the throw. He hit Keaton Anthony in the chest. That's a great play by Robert Moore, and because it was in front of him, ultimately is able to keep Romero at second base.
Going to get a pinch hitter here for Harrisburg. It's Charles Mack. First time we're seeing him this week. Listed as a catcher. Full pinch hit for Glasser, the DH, in the leadoff spot. And pickoff play was on. McCullum does not throw over. So 1 out, top 9, 6-0. Harrisburg on top. Romero on second. Mack the batter. And McCullum's ready. Comes set of the belt. Fires home. He's up for a ball, 1-0. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So, per request, Tommy McCullum's walk-up song is, or I guess warm-up song is Hot to Go by Chapel Roan. It's the one that goes like H-O-T-T-O-G-O. Have you heard that one?
No, I'm asking you to sing it.
I'm not going to sing it. I don't want to disturb our listeners' ears.
Well, if you don't finish the
2-0,
story,
that's
the
a ball.
he's going to be done.
But that is the story. Just he wanted that
That's
to be his
just when it
walk-up
changed
song, and I wanted to know if you knew the song.
Oh, all right.
I was surprised enough you know who Chapel
like there
Roan
was
is.
such a big setup that it had to be a much bigger story
It's
than
more just funny.
have you ever heard the song?
It's good for the vibes. 2-0 is over for a strike, 2-1. That brings back a last year conversation.
Yes, it does. When you think that your generation invented the word
No, I'm just saying
and they were wrong,
the definition of the word is
is the
applied
same.
differently.
It is not.
And the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. I've been asked no lyrics by anonymous sources.
You have been asked no lyrics about
Like, don't sing the song.
not to sing the song?
Yeah.
So you're getting requests not to sing.
Not to sing the song.
As opposed to requests to sing and what songs to sing, you're getting requests not to sing.
I sing one song here, and one song only.
Well, it's if you're going to do it, that's a good song to sing.
2-2, swing and a miss. Struck him out. So that is out number 2 for a strikeout for Tommy McCullum. And that'll bring Nick Schnell to the plate.
McCallum's very deceptive because he's such a big dude. I mean, he's just a big old country boy to kind of go along with Jake's vibe.
Now I'm being asked to sing it by other people.
But he doesn't really throw all that hard, despite how big he is.
And first pitch to Schnell, swung on, foul territory. It is going to be down foul. No balls and 1 strike. So now we're getting conflicting reports here.
So this is coming from the opposite side of the press box? Or is this just your fan club?
I don't expose my sources. Fan club's a strong word. I don't think we have fans. Maybe we do. Maybe we do, but I don't like to assume those kind of things. Let's play a clip from Rookie of the Year. It was one of my favorite movies growing up.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Henry Rowan Gardner. John Candy, of course, was in it. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. It's like that fastball. It just feels like it's got really good run to it.
Right. But to the point about the velocity, I mean, that's his good. That's good fastball for him. It's 93 on the radar gun. It's just as big as he is, you just think he's going to come up there throwing 96, 97.
So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The count to Nick Schnell. Tommy McCullum trying to toss a scoreless top of the 9th. Pitch home. Swung on, pop fly towards shallow right. In comes Pineda. The right fielder is camped under it, and he will make the catch to retire the side. So in the inning, no runs on a hit, no errors. 1 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. We'll see if the Fightin's bats can be H-O-T, hot. Not to go, just see if the bats can be hot and be a rally here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Harrisburg up by 6. We'll be back after this. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Fightin' Phils, who trail at 6-0 tonight. It'll be 3, 4, 5 due up. Felix Reyes, Keegan Anthony, Leandro Pineda, the 3 who are due up in this inning. So Reyes up. He is in for Hendry Mendez. Not getting any updates on Mendez on why he was removed from this ball game. As we said, if we get any, we will relay that accordingly. So Ivan Armstrong looking to finish off a victory in what was a great start tonight for Kyle Luckham for Harrisburg. So Reyes will dig in from the right side. As our home plate umpire, Tyler Woody, looks like he's adjusting or looking at something on his lineup card. Reyes has been in the game.
Yeah, he's been out left field for 2 innings.
Yeah, so this isn't an insertion or anything.
He's
Now here come the umpires. I hope this is not a Daniel Harper situation from last year. Al Patrique's coming in, and he's saying he's been in the game, and I think they had to confirm that.
right.
Yeah, so it's not a pinch hitter.
No.
First pitch to Reyes, the ball 1-0.
Did he not change his lineup card? Did he think it was somebody pinch hitting for the guy who came in the outfield? Not quite sure what that was all
Unless
about.
he never changed it and
That's
thought it
something
was
it's-
still.
Right.
One ball, no strikes, the pitch.
Oh.
That hits him right in the head,
Right on the helmet.
right on the helmet. So hope Reyes is okay. Of course, you're going to check on him regardless. Make Flaherty out of the dugout. Al Patrique's coming in. And Reyes hasn't really
Yeah,
moved.
he just, you don't like the fact that he's just kind of standing there.
I mean, look, 91 to the head,
Yep.
regardless of if
No,
you're
it doesn't
okay, it's
matter.
going to startle you.
Yep. So right now it's all about checking, making sure what the eyes look like.
I'm sure they're running through something on the
Yep.
field right now.
Yep.
And obviously, with the head, you got to be safe. It's not a pain tolerance
No,
thing. It's a,
yep,
if
this-
there's any concern,
Yeah,
you
there's
take
a-
him out of the game.
There's a look in the eye. There's no doubt about that.
Let's see if he stays in this ball game. He just took off his shin guard.
I think he's going to come out. Maybe not.
Maybe not?
He looks.
Huh?
No, I think
No,
he's
he's
going to
gonna stay in the
Yep,
game.
He's looking for the asking for the helmet. Good. That's great to see.
So that's a good sign. Hopefully Reyes is okay. And while he walks on the first base, let's give you tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium, 7,250. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting tonight's attendance. PSECU is proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So that'll bring up Keaton Anthony from the right side. See if the Fightins can do something with this leadoff base runner. First pitch is down. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
That's our new season high, is it
I
not?
was just checking that right now. Yes, it does. Surpasses opening day by 148 people.
Great job, Baseball Town.
Great start to the weekend. 1-0 is up. 2 balls, no strikes. Anthony 1 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Had a triple in the second. Remember, Reading has not been shut out yet this year. They trail at 6-0. 2-0 is a strike. It's 2-1. They've not been shut out since August 3rd of last season against Hartford.
Wow.
That was a 3-0 loss.
That's a long streak.
They've had, the last few years, Reading has had some long streaks of not being shut out. Next pitch is a ball, 3-1. And also, I want to give credit where credit is due because I feel like it might get lost under the radar if we don't. How about the Fightins bullpen tonight?
Yeah, they've been great.
Baker, 2 innings. Bechtel, 2 innings. McCollum, an inning. Really strong effort from the bullpen tonight. Pitch inside. Almost hit Anthony, but it doesn't matter. It's ball 4. So back-to-back base runners to start the inning. And that'll bring up Leandro Pineda. And look, if Reading's going to come back in this game, the bullpen deserves credit for keeping it where it's at.
Yeah, and even just turning the page, moving forward, you have 2 guys with a lot of experience in the back end of the bullpen who were Jersey Shore to start the year for reasons within the Phillies organization. But if Andrew Baker and Tommy McCollum can get back and with the experience they have,
And be pieces.
be factors in the bullpen. Yep.
Pitch home. Pineda takes for a strike. It's 0-1.
Because it has been a problem throughout the season. There's no question about that. There's been nights where the bats have been slow, like tonight. There's been nights when the bullpen has given up leads.
0-1. Both runners get leads. Neither held on. Infield back. And the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-2. So 0-2 the count to Leandro Pineda. And the pitch is swung on and popped up. Mile high, shallow center. In comes Schnell, the center fielder towards the left center gap, makes the catch. That's out number 1, and that'll bring Trent Farquhar to the plate. Farquhar 1 for 3 in tonight's game. Had his lone hit, a single back in the 4th. Pitch to him. He swings. Pop fly. It'll slice out of play foul to the left side. 0-1. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Trent Farquhar. So McComb in that 9th inning, an inning a hit, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Also this, only 4 strikeouts for Fightin's pitching tonight, 0 walks.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit a while ago in the 8th inning that they hadn't walked a batter.
0-2, swinging a line drive, left center field gap. It will fall for a base hit. Around third goes Reyes. He'll get the green light. Throw goes to the cutoff man. It's an RBI single for Trent Farquhar. That'll make it a 6-1 game, so the shutout is taken away.
Well, there you go. The string continues with not being shut out. Good for Trent Farquhar. And you just look for some positivity now. You're still alive. You're still in the ball game. But you look at least for some momentum to carry you into tomorrow night. And Al Padrique, the astute coach that he is waving Reyes around all the way because he knows at this spot time in the game, it's a 6-0 game. They're not going to make the play at the plate, so they're going to let Reyes
keep
score.
the runners where they are.
Absolutely. So wave Reyes around.
First pitch at distance up for a ball. It's 1-0. So 6-1 our score now. Still 2 on. I mean, look, 1 swing of the bat, it's a 2-run game.
Yep.
So.
And now a conversation.
On a 1-0 count, too.
I think this is about a control thing. I mean, obviously, Armstrong hit a batter, walked a batter, and now he falls behind Disson 1-0. So Rigo Beltran, the pitching coach, are going to go out and have a conversation. In the meantime, somebody's going to start to get loose in the Harrisburg bullpen. That's something else that you take out of this as a positive. You get somebody else up in the bullpen. You're just making them work a little bit more.
It's Michael Cuevas, so you know they don't want to go to.
He's their closer. I mean, he had saves in the first 2 games.
He didn't pitch last night, but regardless.
No, well, he wasn't in a save situation last night.
Tomorrow also is a bullpen game for Harrisburg. Miguel Gomez is scheduled to start that. So same thing, you can get out of tonight if you're using 1 reliever.
Right, but if you're making him get up, if he gets in the game, then it's really a win. But even so, you're still making him get up. In a 6-0 game at this inning started.
1-0 is swung on, a ground ball towards the middle. Diving Pena comes to his feet. Throw is wide. Gets away from Naranjo. Coming home is Anthony. He'll score, and it's 6-2.
That is a really, really bad play by Leandro
Don't throw
Pena.
that baseball.
Bases loaded. It's a 6-1 game. They're a double play from the game being over with. He had 0 chance to get Jordan Disson, and then he airmailed. I mean, he wasn't even close. He sidearmed it and sailed it away from Naranjo. And then Naranjo, because Disson, until he figured out where it was and then took off, Naranjo may have had a shot at second, but he juggled it a little bit trying to pick it up. So that was a disaster of a play defensively for Harrisburg and life in Reading.
It's going to be a single and an error.
Yep.
Pitch to Verdugo is down. It's 1-0. Look, you feel like there's life. And I think after last night, there's some belief in that dugout right now. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, bottom 9, 6-2. Pitch is down again. It's 2-0.
And I remind you what Verdugo did the first time in this series against Armstrong. The one run he gave up when he came in was a home run from Verdugo.
2-0 is down again. That's a strike. Okay, 2-1, bottom of the zone. Should Verdugo reach Ilya Prado, the tying run would be on deck. The pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, Verdugo went for it. I mean, again, you took him deep a couple of nights ago. You're in a position here. Well, hey, take a hack at it. All right, but now you're 2-2. Now make something happen. Roll the ball somewhere.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball through the middle, base hit. Scoring Farquhar, Disson around 3rd. There will be no throw home. It's a 2-run single for Luis Verdugo, and it's 6-4. Bob, something is brewing here at FirstEnergy Stadium.
Well, that's what I'm saying about Verdugo. And here comes Delano DeShields.
Yeah,
that's going to be the end of the night. But that's what I'm saying about Verdugo. I got no problem with a 2-1 count to take a heavy swing, and if you make contact, it's a 6-5 game. You got 2 strikes now make contact. Roll the ball somewhere, and that's exactly what he did. Rolled it back through the middle. Once it got by Armstrong, it's into center field, and because it's a slow roller into center field, 2 runs score easily. We got ourselves a ball game.
So Michael Cuevas is in, Armstrong is done. It's 6-4, and the tying run is coming to the plate, and Elio Prado. We'll have more on Cuevas right after this. There is life breathed back into America's Classic Ballpark. 6-4 game, bottom 9. The Fightins have chased Ivan Armstrong from the game, and Harrisburg, you know they didn't want to, are bringing in their closer, Michael Cuevas, for the 3rd time in 4 days.
Yeah, and he got a save in game 1 and game 2. This is, as Jake said, his 3rd appearance in this series, his 11th appearance on the season. So he's 2-0 with a 3.86 earned run average. So he's got 2 wins, he's got 2 holds, and now he's got 2 saves. 11 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, 10 strikeouts, and 6 walks.
Here is the tying run, Prado. First pitch, almost hit him. It's 1-0.
And that's how this inning got started, with the hit by pitch on Reyes.
Verdugo leads off first. Got to be smart if you're him. Do not get picked off. 1-0. Outside, it's 2-0. Curveball just misses. I mean, if you're Prado, you find a way to get on. You turn the lineup card over.
Absolutely. Right now, you've accomplished so much in this inning, in addition to what you've done to Harrisburg's bullpen.
2-0. Swinging a softly hit ground ball foul. It's 2-1. Nelson Alvarez has began to throw in the Reading bullpen should this game go to the 10th. Regardless, though, what a ninth from the Fightin' Phillies. What a fight shown by them. 2-1, 1 out. Tying run up, pitch. Swung on, fouled back. It's 2-2.
And then we've talked a lot about the expectations from Al Padrica, because we've gotten to know what he likes and what he wants. And this is what he expects. What happened on Wednesday is something he would not take well. And that's that after the Phils gave up the lead, they really just kind of limped to the finish line. They have not done that tonight.
2-2. Swung on, fouled back. I mean, the bats were quiet all night.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, 4 runs in the 9th. All charged to Ivan Armstrong. It was a gem of a start for Kyle Luckham. The Fightins and Elio Prado trying to spoil that. 2-2. That drops in, called strike 3. Wicked slider from Cuevas.
I don't know if Prado is mad at himself or mad at the call, but that's a strike and a great pitch. He locked him up.
So here's Robert Moore, last chance for Reading. He is the tying run with 2 outs in the 9th. 6-4 our score. Luis Verdugo leads off first. Can the Fightins complete the comeback? The pitch. That's inside, 1-0. Throughout his career, Moore has showcased some power from the left side. He bats from that side, the switch hitter does. 1-0, 2 outs, the pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 0 for 4 tonight is Robert Moore. I think you could argue he's due. 1-1, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball foul. Was hit hard, but just out in front of a slider was Moore. And it's 1-2, and the Fightin' Phils are down to their final strike. Reading snapped a 10-game losing streak last night. Looked like they were dead in the water tonight. They're trying to complete a comeback here. 1-2, 2 outs. Pitch to Moore. Swing. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Rafael Pineda. It's 2-2.
Boy, the way Tyler Whitty kind of bounced out of that batter's box, I thought he was going to ring him up. But he came out, checked, and because I didn't think he went around, but I thought he was going to say he did.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Robert Moore. The tying run. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side. 2 hops from the second baseman. Pena has it on the first in time, and the Senators survive a scare and come out victorious in tonight's ball game. 6-4 the final, and look, I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but you look at tonight's game, you got to applaud the fight, and you also have to applaud the bullpen for giving the offense a chance to fight.
No, you find the things that you did well in the game and take them into tomorrow, and that's what you did. You didn't limp to the finish line like we talked about from Wednesday's game. You went down swinging, and you also taxed the bullpen for Harrisburg. Jake said tomorrow's supposed to be a bullpen game. Well, you just took 2 of the bullets out of the gun for the Senators for tomorrow night, because Armstrong obviously is not going to be available to pitch, and neither is their closer, Cuevas. But that young man's done a great job. He's got 3 saves in this series, and the Phils still don't have a hit against him in 3 appearances.
Yeah, it's like we said, bullpen game tomorrow, so if anything, you put a little more strain on that group. See the Fightins can turn the page and get back in the win column tomorrow night. So 6-4 the final. We'll step aside for a moment. Bob McCool's got your White Star Group's post-game show coming up after this on the Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium, and welcome to the postgame show. Tonight's postgame show is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Well, as Jake Sidar said a moment ago, the Fightin' Phils did go down with a fight, at least, in tonight's game, living up to their nickname. The Fightin' Phils fall, however, to the Harrisburg Senators tonight by a final score of 6-5. A matchup of right-handers tonight. Kyle Luckham getting the start for the Senators, and Chuck King getting the start for the Fightin' Phils. Luckham was outstanding tonight for Harrisburg, and Chuck King was hit hard on multiple occasions throughout tonight's game by the Senators' bats. And it started early with Nick Schnell driving one off the highest portion of the wall in center field, up where the retired uniform jerseys are. Any other spot in the ballpark, and Nick Schnell had himself his first home run of the season. Instead, he had himself a one-out double as he bounced it off the wall between the Mike Schmidt and Scott Rowland retired jerseys on the center field fence on the Redner's Event Center. And Schnell had himself his 5th double of the season. The next batter up was the 3-hole hitter, Yoande Morales, and he lined one down the right field line for what turned out to be a ground rule double as it hopped the fence and headed into the pool in right field. And the Senators were on the board for Morales, his 4th double of the season, his 14th RBI of the year, and the Senators were on top 1-0. It stayed that way through 3 innings before before the Senators blew this thing open. And it started with Carlos De La Cruz, who started the 4th inning. And De La Cruz, as he's done so many times at FirstEnergy Stadium, hit a towering home run off the base of the scoreboard in left center field. De La Cruz with his 4th home run of the season, his 2nd of the series. And on the season now, De La Cruz with 11 RBIs as well. And the lead increased by 1 to a 2-0 game. Senators weren't done in the 4th inning. Jeremy De La Rosa followed that up with a double. Then a single by Cortland Lawson put runners at the corners. Maxwell Romero hit a fly ball to right field that brought home De La Rosa for the sacrifice fly. 8th RBI of the season for Maxwell Romero, and it was a 3-0 game. And that was then followed by Viandel Pena, the 9-hole hitter, who was hitting .071 when this game began. He lined one to left field that carried enough to get it over the yellow line and in and out of play. Viandel Pena with the home run that then made it 4-0 in favor of the Senators. Philip Glasser, the leadoff man, the lineup rolled back and around to him, and Philip Glasser got a single, followed by Schnell again, and this time Schnell may have been denied by the wall in center field. This time he hit a bomb off the top portion of the wall in right center field on the Redner's Event Center. Nick Schnell with a 2-run towering home run, and it was a 6-0 game as the Senators end up with a 5 spot in the 4th inning. They did it on 3 hits, but 2 of those 3, on 4 hits, but 3 of those, I'll try that again. They did it on 6 hits, and 3 of those 6 hits were home runs. It was a 6-0 Harrisburg advantage through 4 innings. Chuck King's night was done. To the bullpen's credit, Andrew Baker, Andrew Bechtold, and Tommy McCullum carried the torch to the finish line with 5 shutout innings, a combined 5 innings, 2 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts for Baker, Bechtold, and McCullum. And so the Fightins came to the bottom of the 9th, still in a 6-0 game. And Felix Reyes, who had come in for Hendry Mendez in 2 innings before that on a defensive situation, and not quite sure what happened with Mendez, why they took him out of the game. But Reyes led off, and the first pitch from Ivan Armstrong in his 2nd inning of work hit Reyes in the head, in the helmet with the first pitch. So he was on board. Keaton Anthony then worked a walk to put 2 on. Leandro Pineda hit a lazy fly ball to center field, so it was 1st and 2nd and 1 out. Then Trent Farquhar singled. That plated Reyes to make it a 6-1 game. Jordan Disson then singled. That should have loaded the bases. However, it was an infield single, and the second baseman, Viandel Pena, made an off-balance play. Should have just put the ball in his pocket, but for some reason made a side-armed wild throw away from the first baseman, Joe Naranjo, and down the first base line. And that allowed Farquhar to score. It allowed Disson to move up to second base. And the Fightins had something going after it was 2nd and 3rd, and then Luis Verdugo comes up with a base hit up the middle, and that made it a 6-4 game. That was the end of the night for Ivan Armstrong, and on came Michael Cuevas to try to get his 3rd save of the series, He got Elio Prado on a strikeout. Robert Moore, a ground ball to second to end the ball game. But the Phils did put 4 runs across in that 9th inning. RBI single from Trent Farquhar and a 2 RBI single from Luis Verdugo. And the Phils got it to within a 6-4 game, taxed the bullpen a little bit for the Harrisburg Senators, brought the tying run to the plate, and all of that added up, unfortunately, to a loss for the Reading Phils. And so the Harrisburg Senators win the ball game, 6 runs on 12 hits and error, and 4 left on base for the Senators. 4 runs on 7 hits and error, and 6 left on base for the Fightin Phils. Kyle Luckham, as I said before, brilliant tonight. 94 pitches, went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. He gets the win. He's 2-1. Chuck King takes the loss. He is 1-1. And Michael Cuevas comes in to get his 3rd save of the series and of the season. Tonight's game played in 2 hours and 31 minutes, and it's played in front of the largest crowd of the season, 7,250, watching baseball here in Baseball Town. That's going to do it for tonight's game as the Harrisburg Senators win it. They go to 12-13 on the year. Reading with the loss falls to 6-17 in 2025. We'll back at it tomorrow night. 6:45 is first pitch time here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Phils and Senators with the Diamond Credit Union Plaza opening up at 4:45 and a seating bowl at 5:45. It's a Saturday night in Baseball Town. You know there's a lot of music, there's a lot of baseball, a lot of fun, and some fireworks, all to be had, all in one night with one ticket. Hope to see you out here for tomorrow night's baseball game, the Phils and the Senators. If not, we'll be back right here on our Reading Fight Phils radio network and our flagship 830 WEU.com. For my colleague Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Thanks for listening to Reading Fight Phils Baseball. We'll talk to you tomorrow night with Game 5 of this series with the Phils and the Senators. Better yet, love to see you here at the ballpark. Have yourselves a great Friday night, everyone.